Ahoy! This is that was loud. I'm so sorry. This is Comic Book Hunter, also known as just Hunter. I have the audio waves on my screen and it just went all the way to the
Oh my
top.
God, guys, I'm so sorry. If that was me or if that was Hunt, that was probably me. I
Someone's
just
driving right now and they just wanted to put on the episode and just
another
got on a
dead
crash.
person, another dead person on our hands. My name's Tyler. This is a hero story.
Mhm.
Um, I hope I didn't kill anybody just then. If I hit the mic, did I hit the mic? Is that what just happened?
I think you did, and I also like went ahoy, but I was like leaning into my mic, so.
Damn. Oh, I really hope if we killed you from this episode, we're sorry.
Or if you have like a situation where you were in a dangerous position because of us, let us know. Because
Yeah.
we
We
did
used to
this.
get messages all the time
Yeah.
about people getting into car crashes or something happens and their tire blows out or
While listening to us.
yeah, exactly. It just happened all the time. I felt like it was like we'd get one a week of someone
Yeah.
saying that they nearly died listening to us.
I haven't heard any in a long time. So let us
That's why
know.
JD's not on the podcast anymore because he knows that like we are disrupting the youth and we're causing them like mass harm.
Yeah, probably. He's like, you've killed like 8 kids.
Yeah, exactly. So he quit. Yeah, breaking news, guys. JD quit the podcast.
Because he was nervous because 2 years ago we had a few car crashes with the
Yeah.
show. We haven't heard anything in a while, so I guess let us know, preferably in YouTube comment section, and maybe next week we'll read some of those stories if you have any. We've had some weird ones too.
But
We
I
had
hope you don't. I kind of hope you don't have any. You
I
know,
kind of
like
hope you do.
I hope you guys did something great. Like, oh, I listened to the podcast and I saved a cat out of a tree. And I listened to the podcast and and I saw
Mm,
an old woman trapped under a car and it inspired me to rally everyone to save her. That's what I
mm.
hope. That's what I hope the messages we get.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. We are doing something a little bit different since JD quit and Harper
Yep. And Harper died.
he died.
So
He
breaking
he
news.
was
Second
listening. Yeah, Harper wasn't
second
here
bit of
last week,
breaking
so he was
news.
listening to last week's episode while
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah. And a kangaroo jumped through his window, kicked the shit out of him, and he
Yeah.
died. Breaking news number two: Harper
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
So it's a two-man show now.
Yeah, for now on. Maybe JD will come back, but Harper, don't expect to see him
Yeah, I
again.
wouldn't bet on it, guys.
Yeah. Maybe Sean will come back before Harper
But
does at
yeah,
this point.
probably. I mean, one of them is alive, so
Yeah. If Harper does come back, he should just wear a halo. Just
yeah. Well, he'll have a halo because he's
yeah.
actually dead in the real world. He's actually
Yes.
real life dead. Josh Harper died.
That does make sense, of course. We are doing something I was gonna say different, but we've done this 100 times, but we haven't done it in like a year, I want to say.
It feels like it's been a while.
It's been a long time, but we we went on a
What
hero
happened?
story and we said ask us anything, and
Yeah.
I just clicked on
How
it to
many
make sure
debate
people ask.
questions are there?
I'll count in a second, but the first question to come up is from Tom DeGrazia, so JD's
Oh, let's
dad, who
go.
just said, "Where's JD?"
We just
So,
thought he quit. He quit.
so yeah, we answered that.
Yeah.
He did quit, so we don't know his whereabouts right now, but we got quite a few.
Oh Jesus! All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, so quite a lot. But before we get into that, there wasn't too much news this past week, but the news that we got was pretty major. For example, some characters in Superman being seen for the first time. Set photos for Superman. That's probably the biggest news that came out this past week. We got set
Yeah.
photos of Metropolis. We got some street signs. We got Superman in the suit in daylight. Mr. Terrific as well.
Mr.
The
Terrific,
engineer.
Lois Lane, the entire
Lois,
Daily
yeah,
Planet
literally
bubble event.
the entire Daily
Um,
Planet we saw.
some character that we don't technically know who he
Ultraman,
is.
yeah,
Lex
Black Noir,
Luthor we saw on set.
yeah.
Just we saw the whole thing. We saw
We
the whole Metropolis
Rick
universe.
Flag Senior,
Rick Flag Senior.
but yeah,
We got a lot,
the
like a
big thing.
surprising amount.
So we'll go through like kind of everything that we saw and discuss it. But the big thing is Superman. His suit looks so much
The
better. Why did
suit,
they do that initial reveal?
it is crazy. When I saw these pictures, I was at work on Monday and I was just like holy shit. Like it's listen, guys, you know me, you know I am biased and I don't care. It's
Hmm.
Superman. I love Superman. And so just Superman, he and this is what makes me the happiest is I've seen people complain because he looks too much like Superman.
What?
People are like, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, he's too colorful. and the
He's
trunks have
too.
got to go. You know what I mean? And he's too tall and he's too handsome and he's too jacked. you know, and that is where I'm like, okay, they did something right because he looks just like Superman.
hmm
He
he
looks
looks great,
just like
honestly.
Superman. He looks amazing.
I'm still not the biggest fan of the suit texture. I don't like the
Mhm.
lines. I don't like
You
the
don't like how it
color.
looks like a big felt, like a coat that Cruella Deville would wear.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I find it to be a little baggy, but I
hmm
do think it is a good suit. I don't think it's
I
a
love
great
it.
suit, but it's way better
I
than
let me
most.
look at it again. I said I love it. I don't know if I love it. I will see. It ultimately it matters how it looks on screen most.
What is your
Uh,
favorite live action Superman suit?
that's a great question.
Because while you think about that, mine
yes,
is the Kingdom Come suit from CW Crisis on
yes,
Infinite
you did
Earths,
say this. You
which
you
is a
sent this in
bad,
the
which
chat.
isn't a very good, you know, story, I guess, but I
Yeah,
think
it wasn't.
Superman looks great.
He looks like Kingdom Come Superman. He's just wearing the Kingdom Come Superman outfit.
Yeah, it put it
I
the texture's
think
great too. It's
that
just
the best best Superman has ever looked on screen physically, I guess. Oh God, I
just
hate to
appearance,
say
just
it. I
appearance.
hate to say it. It's probably Henry Cavill in BVS.
In
The
BVS, why in
the
BVS over?
colors are real good on
Yeah,
that suit. I like the texture. I used to be against the idea that it's an alien suit, but
it makes
it's
sense.
grown on me, and it can make sense. Like, sure, that is half of Superman. That is a part of who he is. We're not going to
Yeah,
pretend like it's not. I think he looks real good. I like the hair. I don't understand it,
the
but I think he
BVS hair.
looks all right. I like it at the beginning, I think, when
I
he
don't
first shows
like
up and
it.
he kills that guy.
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah,
it maybe looks better when he's like fighting Batman and he's got kind of the curl. It looks good.
yeah. In the rain.
I think it's a good suit. I think it's a good suit. I like the boots. I like the boots on that too.
Yeah, I think it's good too. That's
It's
probably
one
my
of the
second
rare
favorite.
it's one of the rare suits that doesn't need the trunks, I guess. Like they created something where because I usually think it always needs it, but in that where
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, it works. It looks fine, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Man of Steel.
I
There's
love
like
the
fan art online. Man of Steel suit with trunks, and I think it can work.
yeah, it could have worked, yeah. But I also love like obviously I love Christopher
I
Reeve's
mean,
suit. Yeah, because Christopher Reeve's suit is just again the
that looks
costume
pretty
that
good.
Superman wears. Yeah, the trunks, the cape, the color, the
hmm
belt, the yellow crest on the back of the cape. It's just what Superman looks like, and I think it's perfect. I think Christopher. There's a reason that Christopher Reeve kind of influenced the way we looked at Superman forever. Like the biggest
hmm
influence on the character, literally ever, is Christopher Reeve playing him.
Yeah.
And there's a reason he still looks like him. There's a reason that people still draw him to look like Christopher
Oh
Reeve in the
yeah.
comics.
And
Gary
Gary
Frank.
Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally just him.
So I think those are probably my two.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
like this. I think if this one is done well, if it looks good on camera, I think it'll be the best one.
I mean, this is the Superman that we will hopefully see for 10 plus years. Like
This is the
we'll see
Superman
a
that I'm betting on. I
yeah.
am betting on this guy. I need this to
If this
succeed.
first
I
movie
want
is very good, he will get a trilogy.
I
And
only
then
need this
we'll get
movie. You know
Justice
what I
League and
mean? I
stuff. Yeah.
only need this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about Justice League. I'm not thinking about Batman or whatever. I
hmm
just need this movie to deliver. And
Yeah, of course.
I was thinking about this today because I'm just like I was thinking about how I'm like, is this the movie that I like need the most in my life? You know what I mean? Where I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
James Gunn. It's my favorite character. It's all of these things where I like have all of the utmost faith. I feel like I've never had more faith in a movie working than I have in this. So
Yeah.
it really better not disappoint. Like I swear to God, dude,
Yeah,
I'll be
of
a different
course.
person.
It's
I'll
this.
die like Harper.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's this, the
Rest in
Batman
peace.
2 and Fantastic Four. Like it's all
I
those
would trade it. I would
three.
trade those two for this one. I really would.
Yeah, I would too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I mean, we haven't seen everything too. We saw a lot this past week
Yeah.
with Superman, and they're still filming on that Metropolis set as
What do you
well.
think of the whole Daily Planet ones? What do you think of
Oh yeah,
those?
I mean they look like the Daily
Oh, this looks
Planet.
great. Purple,
Yeah,
like the iconic.
I do
I guess
wish.
I don't know if it's iconic, but it's the color that's most associated with the
Mhm.
character. I would say.
I wish Jimmy Olsen had red hair, but because he is brown in some
Oh,
pictures.
you're a you're going all redhead erasure right now.
Well, I just think the actor would pull it off really
Uh,
well.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, I always assumed he was a redhead. I always
I
felt
thought he
like I
was
saw a
too.
picture. Yeah, exactly. I think he looks fine. I like the jacket. I don't
Yeah,
know. We'll
it's
see.
fine. It's fine. I
Um,
mean, it's the
but
Daily
you could,
Planet.
yeah, you can see all of them. And
Like,
for me, it's just like I just love seeing them. I just love seeing them. They look so great. I love that supporting cast. Like I think we always think about the fucking Daily Bugle. We always think about Jonah and Robbie and Betty Brant and all of them. But god damn
yeah,
it,
those
I
two.
love Perry White, dude. Perry
Yeah,
White is
yeah.
so good. I love him.
And
He's
he's
awesome.
usually really good cast. I thought Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne was a great
Was
Perry
great.
White.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Water,
I
wet.
just love the crew. I just love, Ron Troop and Steve Lombard and
And we're
Cat
actually
Grant. I just
getting them now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just love them. Even they don't even need to be there for very long. They're just gonna say one line and move on. I just like them being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more like a little
Like
family going on.
civilian supporting characters. It's
And
always important.
they have a role because they're all getting out of that one ship in the set
Yeah.
pictures.
There's like a million characters in this movie, dude. What about
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific?
Yeah. I mean,
He
he has
looked
his ship on the
he looked
scene and
incredible.
it's like the Daily Planet's walking out of it. Mr.
Yeah.
Terrific does look good. I do hope that they edit and post to make his eyes just white, like the Deadpool effect.
Oh,
I
like
think
the
that would,
comic book look, right?
yeah, yeah, I think that would look cool because I mean the mask is dumb for in
Yeah.
general, just as a design. I
Yeah.
think the mask is
I
it's
actually
just
couldn't
tea
really
on his
tell
face.
what he looked like. Like it looked good because it didn't look like the actor. So I was like, okay, I guess I
Yeah,
could see how this mask works.
I think it. I mean, it looks like the CW Mr. Terrific, but better
That's because
somehow.
it's just because it looks like the comic book Mr. Terrific,
Yeah, they
right? Like
both
it's a pretty
fair
Mr.
play.
Terrific 2 is a
Yeah,
pretty simple, I guess, costume design,
yeah.
just
It's
a
just you
jacket,
just
some
gotta get the fair
pants.
play jacket and the
Yeah,
T
and I love the
face.
fair play jacket. I think Mr. Terrific is real cool. I think I'm looking forward to these scenes of Superman and him talking because
Yeah.
I always viewed Mr. Terrific like how people think that Batman's like the smartest guy in the DC universe, even though we just know he's not.
No, he's definitely not.
For
He's
me, it's
probably he
like
might be top 10.
I really don't feel like he's up there. I feel like he's just a very good detective. I don't think of him as like one of the
Oh,
smartest people,
yeah.
like a Reed Richards, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I do think that Mr. Terrific is like one of those. I do think he's like a Reed Richards kind of character.
Well, he has like
And I
DC's read.
and I like that a lot. I think it's cool. I
Hmm.
mean it's literally called Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Terrific.
I mean,
Um we gotta look at who came first. But yeah, I think he's cool. And I'm really looking forward to these scenes. They look cool. They look cool together. I like seeing superheroes team up, man.
and like the scene in general just looks like they're solving something. They're trying to figure something
Yeah,
out.
like a mystery. Oh
Like I
gosh.
can imagine them having like his orbs that float around, giving him information as they're
Yeah.
walking around
It's
together,
pretty
him
cool.
and Superman. Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah.
Black Noir.
Okay. Who the
Well,
hell do
no.
you think this guy is?
So I guess for those who don't know, it's the set photo of a guy in like a full black suit. It looks like Black Noir from
Yes.
The Boys,
It
but it
looks
has like a
like
U on his chest.
the Superman costume that David's wearing. It's got the same panel lining. It looks
But
like a
black.
clone of Superman.
Yeah.
It's got a U on
Uh,
his chest. People think it's Ultraman.
so there was a here. You keep talking. I'm gonna pull something up because someone had a rumor.
There's
About
two
this.
characters that people think this character is, right? So it's he kind of weirdly, in a weird way, looks Doomsday-esque, like green costume
Yeah,
Doomsday-esque. Did
yeah.
you get that vibe?
Oh, with the goggles especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so cool. That is there. People
Mhm.
think it's either Ultraman, a version of Ultraman, who in the comics is the Earth 3 evil version of Superman, but in this, I guess, would just be like a clone of Superman.
Mhm.
Um, people, and this, I guess, three people think it could be, but it could be then Bizarro. People think it could be Bizarro, or they could combine the clone Ultraman thing into Bizarro. It's kind
Mhm.
of very like Forever Evil. And
Yeah.
then there's another character from New 52 Superman called Ulysses who shows up in John Romita Jr.'s Superman. And
Mhm.
he, if I remember correctly, which I don't, is maybe a Kryptonian? Like
I don't know.
maybe like I this might be a different story from the same time but I think he might be like a Kryptonian, like Christian nationalist. Like he believes like in the word of Rao.
Yeah.
I think that's what that story is. And that's like interesting if that's who this character is, even though he definitely won't be
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
found what I was looking for. About 3 months ago, maybe four. I briefly mentioned it on here, but we just kind of skipped past it.
Mhm.
But there's something on Twitter called the Geeky Cast, and they have a lot of plot leaks. They predicted No Way Home's plot leak entirely before we got the second trailer, and they predicted Superman's, and people just kind of went like, whatever. But after these set photos, people are bringing up their plot leak again. This is just like a rumor, so this could very
Here we
much not
go.
be true, but I'll read it out to you. It's just like a small paragraph here, but this is apparently the plot for James Gunn's Superman.
Here we
Could be
go.
completely fake, but it sounds pretty interesting. Superman has been active for a couple of years and is struggling to reconcile his human upbringing with his Kryptonian heritage. Other superheroes are edgy and kill when necessary. Superman is an outcast among them and is optimistic and has a no-kill rule, and ultimately inspires them to change their ways. Lex Luthor is war profiting on an armed conflict in a foreign nation. Superman intervenes in the conflict, and the US government deploys a clone created by Lex Luthor dubbed Ultraman to arrest him. Ultraman deteriorizes into Bizarro and goes rogue. Superman and his super friends must stop him while Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff work to expose Luthor for his crimes. The movie reportedly ends with Superman revealing his secret identity to Lois, and Luthor is avoiding repercussion for his crimes and announced that he's running for president.
Oh gosh.
Supergirl arrives on Earth near the end, plus other DCU setups like the Engineer gets recruited by the Authority.
I think
It sounds.
that was a lot. that was that was a
But
there was
this
so
movie has
much.
a lot.
Yes. I like the idea that this movie is a reverse Kingdom Come, where Superman's origin is that he is the outlier among superheroes. In
Hmm.
Kingdom Come, he's the old man who's like thinking back, and all the new heroes are edgy and gritty. But in this, I guess he would be like the optimistic, the young, the bright upstart who's like, no, we got to be superheroes. Like they're like it's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's fun, and
Yeah.
it's especially fun in an era where we still have like people that defend Homelander, you know.
Yeah.
So and so yes, do that. I think this movie has to kind of be, and I know we have to move past it at some point, but I think this movie kind of has to be a response to the Snyder Superman. And it has to be, he's got to be as nice and as kind and as like inspiring and hopeful as ever. He needs to be that. Like, that has to be like the core thing about this character this time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially just like in terms of what, like if Henry Cavill's Superman is supposed to be a reflection of the world, then this one should be too. And in a way, it's like maybe people need that. Maybe people need
Yeah.
Superman to be like this. Maybe that's why we created the character in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think James Gunn knows that. I think that is kind of the marching order for this movie is that
Hmm.
Superman needs to be inspiring. Superman needs to be hopeful. Superman needs to like you need to feel inspired when you leave the movie. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Makes
I think
sense.
the thing that really sold me, like the day they announced it, I was sold, obviously, that James Gunn's making a Superman movie. But last year, when he was promoting Guardians 3, someone asked him why he makes movies. And the answer he gave was that I make movies because I hope that when you see a James Gunn movie, you walk out and you love the person next to you a little bit more. And I'm like,
Oh
fuck,
yeah.
dude. Like, Superman. That's like, make a Superman movie that does that. Dude,
Hmm.
I loved you guys so much after Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was hopeful.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, it had a
So I
great
just
ending.
that on a Superman scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And I think we will get like the somewhat cheesy Boy Scoutness. There's a set photo
Yes.
of him looking at a tree and pointing at a
Save a
tree.
cat. Save that
Yeah,
cat, buddy. Yeah,
yeah. I hope we get that. So,
yeah. Why
I,
not? I just love the idea. Big, gritty scene. The military's moving in. They're shooting at shit, and Superman's like, stop, 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 stop. And he's got like he's parading the cat. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. I want
just do
that.
that. He's gonna
Yeah.
be corny. You have to get over the
Oh, that'd be
fact that he's
great.
cheesy. It's Superman.
Hmm.
You know.
I have a lot of hope for this. Maybe
Me
too
too.
much hope after these photos, but I mean, it's happening. It's not going to get delayed, it looks like. And I wouldn't mind Bizarro. I like Bizarro. I hope they do dumb Bizarro though.
Bizarro's neat. Yeah, I like the idea. I obviously I think would prefer Bizarro Land, where he's from a cube Earth with his all Bizarro characters. But if you're gonna do the clone Bizarro, like do the clone Bizarro. I don't care. You
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
yeah, I don't know. I love
Bizarro's
the
in All Star
crime
Superman, isn't
syndicates.
he?
People were like, "Oh, well, if this is Ultraman, they're not going to do Crime Syndicate." And I love the Crime Syndicate, but they don't need to do the Crime Syndicate
Yeah,
live
and they don't
action.
need to prepare to do they don't need to like leave that character off the table so that they can plan the crime syndicate down the line. Like they just need
Yeah,
to make this fucking movie,
yeah.
you
If they
know?
do the Crime Syndicate, it shouldn't be anytime soon because they're like a
Yeah.
Justice League. You got to
Yeah.
establish a Justice League first, and that shouldn't happen anytime
That's like
soon.
a Justice League 2 or 3, dude. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
you better
yeah,
wait for that.
yeah, exactly. But and they can still call him Ultraman, so it's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I mean, oh, well, I guess the last thing we haven't really mentioned about these set photos is the Clark Kent photo.
Mm.
His hair. That's
As soon as I saw it, I went like a double tick. I did like a double tick. I was like, what is that the guy from Black? Is that Noah Centineo?
oh
You
my
know?
god, yeah, it's the Atom Smasher.
Yeah. Did you see
Probably
there was a
Rorschach.
another photo today
Oh, there
of the
was?
Clark Kent? Yeah, I'll send it. It's him sitting in an office building and there's Superman merch behind him.
Oh no,
Like
I did see
as it,
that. I did see that. Yeah.
yeah, and he, he looks kind of funny. I think and I also saw a picture of his there's a picture of his press badge as well where he also has the same haircut.
Yeah.
I think
Why
he's
would he
just
not?
well, I swear that it was just like he's just rushing and like he's got to be Superman. He was just Superman. He's got to rush. Whatever. He didn't do his hair, but I
Mhm.
guess this is how he's gonna look. I think it's kind of funny. I like.
Yeah.
It looks like the cartoon Superman, the current My Adventures
Mhm.
with Superman, and he definitely doesn't look like Superman.
Yeah,
So
so
I
that's
guess
a
it
good thing.
works.
Yeah,
You know,
he doesn't look like he could be Superman.
yeah, you would not look at that guy and think that that's Superman, and I
Mhm.
guess that's the job. You know,
Yeah. I mean, there's also like the mannerism, which we'll see when the movie comes
have
out
you
and
seen
how he
the video of him like pushing through the crowd?
yeah, he looks like clumsy and in a rush, so
Love it. I
that
love it
helps.
so
And
much.
people complain about Clark Kent identity. I think it works. I think it would work in real life too.
I think it absolutely would work in real life. I think Clark Kent's just a guy and Superman is the most famous person on the planet. You
Yeah.
know, like you would not this is always the point of it that he mentions. It's just like you would not assume Superman did anything else except for be Superman.
Exactly.
Why the
Why would
hell
Superman
why
be a
the hell would he
reporter?
want to be a normal guy? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why the hell would he do that?
He'd
He's
just be
Superman.
Superman
Yeah,
24/7. Yeah.
exactly. And so I love that idea. I think that the character works at all because he has Clark Kent. Because at the end of the day, he's a human being who likes to like, even though he could fly anywhere in a second, he likes to take the bus to work. You know,
Hmm.
it's that's I think that's the charm of the character. I think that's like
Yeah.
kind of the whole thing. So you have to like Clark Kent has to be some what's it called like other half of his person. Like this is also who he is.
Hmm.
It's fun. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think he looks a little goofy, but
He does look goofy. Yeah.
maybe that's the point. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah. I guess that's it for Superman talk. It looks great. I'm excited. I hope we get a trailer this sometime this year. I know it's
Yeah,
a
that'd be
year
cool.
away, but
Christmas or something.
yeah, play it
Yeah.
with whatever Nosferatu. Play it before that.
Yes, exactly. That's what people
Hmm.
what you want. It's like a Barbenheimer right there.
Yeah, exactly. We also got a teaser for Deadpool Wolverine. It shows Sabretooth. Did you watch that teaser?
Yeah. People have been waiting decades for this fight.
Have they?
Have we though? I feel like we got it though.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Exactly. You
But
think
all
that's for
right.
something else? You think that's a line they just cut there that's for
No,
something
I
else?
do think it's for this.
Okay. He
We've seen
fights,
this.
he fights the 2005 Doctor Doom. People have been waiting this fight for have we though?
Yeah,
You know,
okay,
I've
sure. I
never
mean,
thought about that.
it looks like it'll be good. They like charge
Yeah.
each other really fast.
Yeah. And he looks like Sabretooth from the first movie.
Yeah,
Cool.
so yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I've been waiting decades
It's a
for
month away,
this.
right? It's
Yeah.
1 month away.
Yeah, pretty much exactly a month away, so we're almost
It's
there. I'm
exciting.
excited.
Me
I'm
too.
looking forward
I
to it.
think it's gonna be good. I have faith in this one.
Yeah, me too.
God, I hope it
I
does.
guess we'll jump into these questions. Now that's kind of all the news that happened. It was all
Was
Superman
there not
stuff.
anything else?
It was all
Fantastic
Superman
Four is in
stuff.
the 60s.
Oh yeah, I guess that's confirmed. Fantastic Four is in the
But
60s
we knew
now.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought we already knew that for a while, but
Cool.
Still not filming, but starting to film soon.
He said late August, I think was what Kevin Feige said.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
I
Or
thought it
maybe
was
late
supposed to be
July.
June.
Yeah. Can we make this movie? Can I
Yeah.
see this movie, please? I want to see this movie. Push it even to like next year, like a little bit further next year. I don't mind.
Hmm.
Just make it.
I'm excited. We both Tyler and I both saw Quiet Place last night,
Oh yeah,
and
Joseph Quinn,
Joseph Quinn.
dude, he's great, man.
He's gonna be a good
The
Johnny Storm.
entire movie thinking, dude, Johnny Storm is so cool. Like I love Johnny
Yeah.
Storm. He's
I
gonna
mean,
be a great Johnny
he
Storm.
acts nothing like Johnny Storm in this movie, of
No, not at
course,
all.
but I
But I
mean,
like Joseph Quinn. Like
yeah, I do
I
too.
like him as Eddie Munson.
Same.
And every time anything happened in this movie, I was like, Eddie, oh my god. And I'm like, what's his character's name again? Eric?
Yeah.
But uh I like him and he's gonna be good.
Yeah, he's got the
And I like that
charm for
movie. It was a
sure.
good movie.
It was good. Yeah, I think it's the
Yeah.
best Quiet Place movie.
It was really fucking scary though, because I saw it like in the city, and the movie begins on a big, what's it called, skyline shot of New York City, and it just says the average decibel count in New York City is 90 decibels. That's the sound of a constant scream. And I'm like, oh my god, that's what I've been hearing all day is a constant scream. Like I walked outside out of the theater and I was just like I swear to God, if any like fucking aliens drop right now, I'm fucked. Like I'm in the worst place to be.
You actually are. Is New York the
Yeah,
loudest city in the world?
I can't be, but that is
It must
crazy.
be.
You think it's the loudest? I'm sure those statistics exist, right?
It's that
If it's
or
Edmonton or
Vegas,
something.
maybe? Yeah, it's my city. It might be
um,
Vegas, but I imagine it's New
Loudest.
York.
I don't know. I mean, you get to the point where you just zone out the sound. Like I don't think about it. But when I saw the movie, I was like, I walked down, I was just like, geez, it really is like so loud
Yeah.
every second like of the
You
day.
got millions of people talking at once,
Yeah.
cars honking,
Bangladesh.
ambulances.
Dhaka, Bangladesh is the loudest city with a noise level of 119 decibels.
Jeez. Okay. Well,
It's probably just like the more tightly compacted cities.
yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, they got
Uh,
to, you know what? Quiet Place Day One, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
There we go. It happened all over the world, right?
True. We'll jump into some questions now. JD's father asked, "Where's JD?" I'm sorry, man. He
Wait,
quit.
yeah,
Mhm.
he didn't tell you?
Yeah, he should have
That's
told
weird.
you. I
Sorry to
guess.
break the news, but yeah, he JD quit.
Yeah. All right. I haven't read any of these yet, so
Oh, here we go.
we'll just. Sean.Thrunk says, create a Justice League roster where you can only have one Trinity member on the roster. That's a long question. Well, long answered question.
Need a Justice League roster with one Trinity member. All
Well,
right,
just
so we have to
read the
start
book
at
Trinity. It's literally about three Justice League rosters, one led by Superman, one led by Batman, one Wonder Woman.
the Justice League New 52 book.
Yeah. Like the
Book
event
sucks.
Trinity. It's not very good.
It sucks. Don't read Trinity actually.
I'm just saying, if you want
Yeah.
that, there's Trinity.
Yeah. Or what's that one? What was that one book right after Metal? No Justice. Read that.
Oh
Read No
yeah,
Justice.
yeah. I mean,
Um
I don't think I can make a team off the top of my head, but
who I guess I would keep Superman
yeah, I would too.
and I'll get give me a Nightwing. Give me
So a
give
sort
me
of
a
Batman.
yes, sort of get me a sort of Batman, but he's cool. I like Nightwing,
Yeah.
give me a Hal Jordan, give me a Barry Allen, give me and I need a wild card. You need someone fucking crazy. Give me I guess Zatanna's not crazy, but I do want Zatanna on there as well. But
Okay.
give me Animal Man or Plastic Man. Give me Plastic Man actually. There you go.
Yeah,
There's my
that works.
Justice League.
Okay, I'll go Superman as well. I'll go Hal Jordan and Barry Allen.
Wow, this guy's copying my every word.
Yep. I'm gonna do Shazam.
Okay.
Or the Captain, as they call him now.
Yes, Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I will do Donna Troy.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Donna.
yep, why not?
Okay, because
Why
why
not?
not?
Supergirl,
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman,
Aquaman, Supergirl,
and
Aquaman.
I guess one more. Should probably pick another woman.
You don't have to do one more. I mean,
Carol.
Carol
Stars at fire.
Ferris.
Yeah,
Okay,
Carol
there you go.
Ferris. Sure. I'm just looking at my desk. Sure.
Carol Danvers. Oh, wait a minute.
I almost said Carol Danvers, but yeah, that works. All right. Rob Ambrose says, "Will Guy Garner be as comic accurate as Mr. Terrific in Superman?"
Oh my God, that's a
Probably.
question. Yeah,
Probably.
he's gonna look so stupid.
I think the suit will look great. I just hope for white gloves because
Bowl cut. Yeah. Oh my God.
I think the hair
Oh
might
my.
look dumb, but I hope he
And he's
gets
gonna
white
look.
gloves.
And he's old. The
Yeah.
villain's like in his 50s, right?
Yeah. Why? Why did he? Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's news, dude. The Lantern show is official and whatnot. 8 episodes. Tom King.
Oh, and the True
Um,
Detective people, right?
yeah, and this veteran Hal Jordan newbie John Stewart. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'm
I
okay
love
with
that.
that. The Nick Heasters 3 says favorite and least favorite retcon.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think my favorite retcon is the
Oh
whole
no.
Norman Osborn having sex with Gwen Stacy was
Oh, and
retconned to Norman Osborn having sex with Mysterio disguised as Gwen Stacy. I think that's so funny.
and creating 2 clone children. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good one. And you know what? It was last minute. You know they wanted to undo one more day, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, all right, we'll settle for sins past."
Yeah. It's a dumb thing that
And
has
they
a dumb
never need to talk about
retcon.
it again. But
Yeah, but it is funny.
at least it's retcon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have said anything that could have explained it. We would have been okay.
Yeah. It is dumb, but it's
Yeah.
funny. So that's my favorite. Least favorite though.
I
Or
would
do you
say
have a
my
favorite?
favorite retcon. I don't even think of this as a retcon, but I think this is the best retcon in the history of comic books. Is Avengers issue 4 when it's revealed that Captain America has been in ice for 20 years
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
Captain America just went away for a while. We never knew where he went, and then they were like, actually, he's been frozen in a block of ice,
Yeah, that is probably the
and he's
best
being
one.
worshipped like a god by some tribe. And like because they see him in ice and they're like they for some reason they think he's a god trapped in the ice,
Just
and
an
then
American soldier.
Namor accidentally pushes him into the Atlantic and the Avengers find him.
Yeah.
Yes, best retcon ever. It's just it is what makes the character interesting at all.
Yeah, because he will always be that person that came out of the ice 20
Yeah, the
years
man at
ago.
a time. Yeah,
Yeah. I can't think of a least favorite.
there's so many. I mean,
There's
One
a
More
lot of dumb
Day
ones. Yeah.
is the worst comic book ever.
Is
Sins
that a
Past, the
retcon? I guess it is a
original Sins
retcon.
Past is horrible. Is the worst thing ever.
Hmm.
You could throw your flashpoints in there if you want and your new 52s.
Yeah, I guess
um
Wally just not existing for 5 years.
I honestly think it's a really bad one from the new 52, which it just bothers me, is making Barbara Batgirl again. It's just like, did you need to do that? Like,
Yeah.
she had evolved. They when they after they crippled her, she became arguably a better character, and it was like, she's in a wheelchair. That's cool. Whatever.
Yes.
I
It
just think it
gives
was
yeah.
lame because it's not like it didn't happen. They just said she got over it. She just
Well,
got
she had like
better
a
and could walk
surgery.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
I don't think that was the point of the character.
Yeah, Oracle was a bit better.
I like Oracle a lot. They had to bring
Hmm.
Oracle back now. So
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other retcons that I like dislike or I like. I'm
I
like
love the way you
lost.
said
I'm
that.
sure I feel like there's one that is my favorite, but I can't think of it.
Favorite retcons? I mean, oh God, there's a million retcons in comics.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. Do you like the one where they retcon that Matt Murdock had a brother the whole time, a
Oh
twin
yeah,
brother?
I don't like that one. Matt Murdock has a
Mike?
twin brother named Mike who's just like a
Yes.
gang member.
Yes. Who's always existed now.
Yeah, no, I don't like that one. That's a bad one.
Um,
It just overcomplicates Daredevil's history.
it really does. It just makes it bad.
Yeah.
What does it make it bad? But it
It's
was
just like now
silly.
it's like,
It
oh,
was
where
just
was he during this? And
it was just
stuff.
silly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it was called One More Day. The issue's called One More Day.
Yeah.
So
Oh, a good retcon is Jeff Jones' Green Lanterns. They retcon that yellow actually isn't a weakness to the Green Lantern.
oh, the
And
rebirth. Yes,
yeah, and
that.
they also said like, oh, the rings can't kill people, but that's because it's in their like code. But they could always just switch that off.
Well, the retcon was that Hal Jordan, when he had turned into Parallax, turns out Parallax is the embodiment of the yellow spectrum, which is fear, and that
Yeah.
the reason they were vulnerable to yellow is because the Guardians had Parallax trapped in the battery, and so there was always this like weakness to yellow.
Hmm.
Such a roundabout retcon to make Hal Jordan works, but it's just the canon of the character now. Like
It's
it's
better.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And from that we get all the other colors.
Yeah, because beforehand and like before this all happened, I guess in the 90s and lower, if Hal Jordan's in a fight and he was hit into a taxi, he's like it's done because the taxi's
Yeah.
yellow. So he's
Like
like super it's like
there's
kryptonite.
in
It's the color
when
yellow.
they after post crisis, there's a story called Emerald Dawn, which is the origin of Hal Jordan. And
Hmm.
when he first gets the Green Lantern ring, he flies through a yellow billboard and gets a concussion.
Yeah,
So
so
it's the first thing he
it was a
does.
dumb thing. So I'm glad it's like
Yeah.
not a thing
And
anymore.
Alan Scott had a weakness to wood. So the
Yeah.
Green Lantern weakness, I mean, do you remember All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder? They
Oh, they like
Batman
painted the Batcave yellow.
Robin paints a room yellow, entirely yellow, and paints him and Batman entirely yellow from head to toe. And then they lure Green Arrow in there or Green
Green
Lantern in
Lantern.
there, and he's weak. And then Dick Grayson almost kills him.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson crushes his throat, and
It's just,
Batman has to like do surgery on him to save him. And they also are pouring lemonade and like have like it's just all yellow. They're just
it's
the book is deranged.
yeah, and it's a dumb power or weakness in
Yes,
general.
it's so stupid,
I
man.
get
This
that they
kid almost
needed.
killed him.
It's like, oh, well, Green Lantern couldn't make anything, so he needs to have a weakness. Yeah, but
Yellow,
he's
a
not.
color,
Yeah, a color. Of all things.
like a color is weird,
He's
man.
very powerful, but
Batman,
just give him
yeah,
powerful foes.
it's like it's the whole kryptonite thing. It's like a rock,
Well,
you know.
this is better than there. This is worse
No,
than that. Yeah.
I know.
Um, Red Wing 2.0 asks, "Are y'all for the Bat Family, or would you rather have Batman go back to being solo?" Not Bat Family.
I think we get a cap on the Bat Family. We make like a there can only be 12 spots or something. But yes, absolutely keep the Bat Family. It's like a
It's a
it's
staple, and going
yeah,
back would
it's a
be a
staple and
bad
it's what's it called?
retcon. So,
It's a just an addition to the character. Like there's so many characters in the Bat Family that
and
are like singular characters on their own. You know what I mean? There's Nightwing, there's
yeah,
Catwoman, there's Robin, Red Hood.
in the past 10 years, we've seen Batman be like, "I don't need my family anymore," and then learn, "Never mind,
Like
I
five
do."
times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 times is the actual number, but still, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Just keep them. You like your kids, man. You have like 20 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like them all. I mean, I like some of them more than others, but I like them all.
Yeah. Linok01 says, what would you both rate the Zdarsky run on Batman after the latest issue? 7.
Out of 10. Out of 10. Do you
I
like
think it's
failsafe? Do you like the failsafe arc?
I don't love it, but I think it's good. It's just not like
I think
amazing.
it's ridiculous. I think it's a weird. I thought it was gonna. I when Zdarsky got on Batman, I was like, oh, he's gonna tell some deep dark story like Daredevil. And
Hmm.
then the first arc is just batshit crazy,
It's
and he
Action
falls from
Comics.
the moon. Yeah,
Yeah.
and honestly, I love that he fell from the moon. I just love it. I know it's the worst
I
thing
think it's
ever. I
dumb.
know it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So for
Well,
that, it's a 10 out of 10. No,
no.
it's probably like a 6.5,
Yeah,
7.
that's fair.
It's like it's not as good as Batman's ever been, but I read it every month, you know?
Yeah, like I'll keep reading it, but I'm not recommending it to people. I'm like, oh, you have to read
Yeah,
Batman
you
right
got
now.
bro, you gotta read
You
Batman.
gotta
Like,
get on
no,
that.
you
No,
don't
it's
really
like,
have to read Batman right now.
yeah, it's good, but it's not
Yeah.
great. So it's got good. I think it's getting better. It was
Yeah,
really bad during the multiverse arc. I thought it was terrible.
we just gotta get past all absolute power, and then we'll
Yeah.
see what this whole new chapter of everything is gonna look like.
Yeah, assuming Chip's still on it, which I'm sure he will be, but um Adam Brown 257 says, "What's each of your favorite collectible that you own?" Shout out that drop pop
Um,
figure. probably.
Shadow of the Hedgehog. Probably the Hot Toys, the Batman, Robert
That's
Pattinson
better.
Batman,
I
or
don't
this,
really.
or the Iron Man statue I have. Dude, I got Marvel versus Capcom 2 cable figure yesterday. I
Yeah, I
have been
saw that.
searching that thing for weeks, for months at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
you're more the collector than I am. And Harper, if Harper was here, he'd have probably
yeah.
a better answer. I don't really
Um,
collect figures as much. I have a pretty good Wolverine. I don't know who it's by or anything, but
pretty good Wolverine. I got
it's
a pretty
pretty
cool
good.
Wolverine.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty good.
I
I
like
have a good
Wolverine.
Daredevil,
I have a good Daredevil too.
but yeah,
I
I
have
don't.
this Miguel. He's cool.
Yeah, I don't really collect. I've been looking at like
I have this
anime
Doctor
figures and
Strange.
stuff,
He's cool.
but let's
Or
do
Doctor
them.
Doom. Doctor
Yeah,
Doom. Doctor Doom.
but yeah,
I just have a lot of shit on my desk. I have first appearance Spider Man.
I have
Oh
too
gosh.
much stuff, so I actually have to get rid of stuff this week. So
Oh,
maybe I'll sell some things. Yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, I guess that's our answer. Um, Kev Doc says, "Do you agree that some comic book adaptations are too realistic or grounded?" No, I think The Dark Knight was like
too
a
realistic or
definition of too
grounded.
realistic, but I
Um,
think The Dark Knight's still good.
I wonder if he means like Man of Steel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind an adaptation
I
like that. I'd
think
rather it be comic booky, but
I think what you have to do, I think that all that really matters is not necessarily the realism, but I think you
mhm.
just have to capture the core of whatever the comic book is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Batman I think is probably even more real than the Dark Knight, but it like perfectly captures the character, you know?
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter. Like I think if you made a ultra super real Superman movie, but he still felt like Superman, then yeah, I don't necessarily think it's ever the tone or like the realism that matters. I mean, I
Mhm.
think it's kind of lame that we're not going to get like a super muddy, Clayface or something like that, but I don't care really, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really care
Yeah.
either. So, Smarbo says, "How would you fix the MCU?"
You might want to listen to every episode. I feel like I feel like we talk about this every episode.
They talked about this on the debate yesterday as well. You saw,
I didn't
um,
watch it. I
yeah,
watched Jon Stewart's recap, like
yeah.
Green
Oh,
Lantern.
and you thought what they thought of, you saw what they thought of the MCU, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think you just rush into the X-Men. I think you just make an X-Men movie. I think you
So,
just get that out now. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, we'll
And Spider-Man.
see in like a month here during Comic-Con. Hall
Yeah.
H.
Yeah, that's
They'll
true.
be back, so they'll explain.
I think just that. I think just and Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's our answer. Um, Logan Glorious, I think, says, "How does one get into DC Comics when the timeline is so confusing? Find a series that you like, find a character you like or team,
Yeah. Yeah.
say like Superman. Find
Or anything, yeah.
yeah,
You see the Doom Patrol show and you're like, fuck, Doom Patrol. Anything.
from there
Literally
you
anything.
Google what's the best run for this character and you read that or you read the story. So if you like Superman, All-Star Superman will probably come up.
Yeah, or yeah, any of them.
Superman Birthright or something like that.
Birthright, Secret Origins, Smashes the Clan, Up in the Sky,
Some people
all for all seasons.
are
Yeah.
just like, I don't want to read that old stuff. I just want to read today's comics, which I get, but you are missing
Mhm.
out. But I don't understand why you think that, but you are missing out. From
I
there,
think,
look at the
yeah.
current series. Like for Superman, it's on like 15 right now, issue 15 or something like that. Go to
Mhm.
number one and just start reading. And there will be times where you're like, wait, what's happening? What's taking place here? But it does get explained pretty much every time.
Yeah, I think it's with the timeline being so confusing. I think what you have to know for DC is that the timeline
Sucks.
doesn't even matter to the writers.
Hmm.
So you trying to figure out the timeline will only cause you stress. It's only ever caused us stress. You
Hmm.
just have to go with the vibe. You're not in DC for the expansive timeline of
You're
events
not
and
doing
lore.
homework.
You're
Yeah.
in it for the vibe. You're in it for the universe of characters. You don't need to know everything.
Hmm.
None of us do. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think when you get into comics, the
Hmm.
number one thing I think that everyone thinks at first is I have to know everything.
Hmm.
You're just never going to. And
Yeah.
nobody ever does, and nobody talks who knows everything. Like, just find the thing that you like and focus on that. You like Superman, then just read all the Superman you can find.
Mhm.
You know,
There's
Batman's a good,
also,
there's so many good ones,
yeah, for whatever team or character you want to get into, because you can't just get into the whole universe. You got to find whatever character appeals to you most. Go on Reddit. Every character pretty much has a subreddit, and on all those characters subreddit, they have a
True,
reading
yeah, yeah.
order.
Yes,
And
every character does have a subreddit. I'm in like 10 of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they all have reading orders, and you could see them on every subreddit, and you can just start from the bottom and make your way to the top. And these
Yeah.
reading orders aren't like, oh, you have to read the stuff from the 60s and then make your way up. No, they're actually like, this is like everything that matters for the character.
Yeah.
The Daredevil, I know this is Marvel, but the Daredevil subreddit has a really good one that starts with Frank Miller and goes to today. But it skips certain ones that you don't need to read. So Moon Knight also has a really good one that like purposely tells you like, hey, here's where Bendis's run starts, but you shouldn't read it.
Yeah.
So it's very helpful
Yeah.
in that
And, and
case.
get ready. When you get into comic books, just get ready to be heartbroken. Just get
Yeah, a lot
ready
of
to
stuff sucks.
get ready for the characters you like to get broken and get fixed for
Mhm.
your entire life.
Yeah,
It's not, it's not a fun game.
a, a
I want
lot.
to run away a lot of the time, but I'm in it for the art, dude. I'm in it for
Mhm.
the love of the game. It's just the characters, the medium, the stories. It's just, you know what I mean?
Most characters have bad runs. It's
Yes,
not
every
very
character has
often.
bad run.
I wouldn't say every character. It's not very often you get one that's like, this is perfect the whole way. I would say Daredevil almost has a perfect storyline. I would say Green Lantern is pretty close, and I would say Thor is pretty close. Everyone else,
Ev-
as far as I could
Yeah,
think, sucks. Has some that
well, it
suck.
just it's the the good I say outweighs the bad for the majority of characters, but the stinkers are so smelly, dude. They stink up the entire line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you get a bad Superman story, it's gonna make you think you don't like Superman. But the reality is you just don't like that story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
never the character's fault. It's
Mhm.
always the writer's fault. And
Everyone,
so
yeah.
send them the death threats.
Everyone that is currently reading comics, we all hate Spider-Man. And
Yes.
we have for like 15 years.
To 20, 30 years, yeah.
Yeah, so just
I'll go by
be
60 years,
careful.
yeah.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
careful. So yeah.
Oh god,
That's I
they
think
got
that's a
that
good
they
answer.
got a new writer on Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right,
Fuck.
more of a serious question. Rick.v says rank the hotness of Tyler Hunter, JD, and Harper.
Is that for us to do?
So, I'm gonna put me at the bottom.
Okay, I'll put me at the top.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We'll put
No, who's
I
at the
think Harper. He kind of looks like the like unironically sometimes he looks like the Chad meme, Giga Chad.
Oh yeah, Giga Chad. Yeah, he just kind of yeah. I feel like he used to more too. Yeah,
Yeah. So
and
I put him near the top.
JD's like ripped.
Yeah, he is. He works out
JD's
a lot.
yeah. So
He
it
could be
just depends
third.
on what you're looking. You know what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You guys should rank us, not us.
I'm okay with being at the bottom. I've had my
Nah,
time.
Hunter
I've had my time. I've known
at the
this
top.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had my
He
time at the top briefly.
yeah. Hunter used to be a model for for
Yeah.
the unformed in the podcast. For people that don't know that, Hunter used to be
Yeah,
a runway model
I was, and then I grew a mustache, and now I look
because
like this.
some woman saw you in the
A man.
mall.
It was a
A
man.
ma- a
Mhm.
man. Okay, tell me if I'm remembering this right. I'm spilling your lore here.
Okay.
Some man saw Hunter at the mall with his mom and dad when he was like
Just my
12.
mom. But
Just his mom.
no, God, no, no, it's 12.
How old were you?
I was 15, which I guess still wasn't very good.
15 years old and said,
Mhm.
"You need to model for me."
Yeah, and it turns out he ran like a massive modeling agency, and he was just visiting the city. And I was like, okay. And so my mom took his information because I was a minor. And
Because he was a minor. Yeah, he's 15 years old.
and then I met with not him, but people that worked with him. And yeah, I did it for 4 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was 19, and then I realized this is like predatory behavior.
It's weird. This was weird.
I looked back and like, wow, I did some weird things. I did some things that I should never say on the internet.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll text you one.
Oh,
One thing that I had
just
to
for my
do.
reaction. Here we
Yeah,
go.
but you won't say it out loud. But this is
Unless
one
I
thing
will. No, I
that
won't.
there are photos somewhere online of
Oh
this.
yes, I cannot wait.
I'm
You
not
know
gonna
what?
show you the photos. I'm not
Yeah,
because
Jesus Christ.
I don't know
Jesus
where I
Christ.
would find it.
Guys, you know, now the fact that I can't read this out loud is going to make it all the more sus. Like, you know what? Let's see. I'm excited to know.
I'm
I'm
typing it. Hold
excited to
on.
know. But yeah, this is the life. This is the life that Hunter used to live. Hunter used to be a model. He used to be like desirable. So that's why he was at the top of the mountain. And that's why he now is okay with being at the bottom of the mountain. God, he is typing his heart away. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. I
Guys.
just turned 17 too, so I was like fresh 17. The
Jesus
guy who
Christ.
did the shoot, he called himself Dr. Disrespect.
Oh my god. Can we find those pictures? Can I
I'm
see
not
those
even
pictures?
gonna look for
Can
them.
we make it the thumbnail?
I haven't seen those since I was maybe that age. And I'm not gonna look.
Wow.
I'm not gonna look for them.
Wow. That was guys, that was crazy.
I got $1,300 for that.
You know what? Doesn't sound that
When
crazy
you're
anymore.
17, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Hey, you take that. So yeah. So worth
Wow.
it. But now I have a mustache, so
But now he's got a mustache.
I'm
Yeah.
accepting that I
And
look
he's covered in
well.
tattoos. He's blemished his soul with
Yeah,
tattoos.
yeah. So I'm wearing a Mario hat right now.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Yeah. Anyways, Matthew Novak says, "Are you excited for the DC versus Marvel reprints coming in September?"
Yes, absolutely. I think this did you okay, this is the first time they're being reprinted in like 30 years, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So at the very least, and I know I've said this before, but at the very least, Marvel Comics and DC Comics are talking to each other to reprint these,
Mhm.
which means I genuinely think does mean that there are crossovers to be had. I think
It's possible more than ever.
this is the longest time it's been in between crossovers in the company's histories, which is
And
crazy.
in general, this isn't just DC because the Marvel just agreed to re-release Marvel versus Capcom stuff.
Yeah.
So they are like
Or it's Disney.
agreeing to
It's
things.
Disney, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they're both owned by parent companies. It's Disney, it's Warner Brothers. Marvel and DC don't want to share profits. But it's like
But now they
it's what
are.
never makes sense to me. It's what does not make sense to me at all is that these companies will go, I refuse to have 50% of the profits. So instead I'll make 0% of the
Yeah, you'll
profits.
make money no matter what because people will
It,
buy these things.
exactly. Like at least you're making the money. Like people would buy and sell out a modern Marvel DC crossover. It would
Mhm.
sell like crazy. I think for modern comics, it would sell like crazy. It probably also get pirated like crazy, but it would probably sell like crazy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it would be a big deal. It would be a huge deal, you know?
Mhm.
I I think that the reprinting of the crossovers and of Amalgam is the first step to that. And also, I have always wanted to read those crossovers and the Amalgam books, so this
Here
is
we
the
go.
time.
Yeah. I'll probably check it out too. This is a good follow-up question by the inimitable Inim One Table. Says, would love to see you guys pitch a Marvel versus DC or Marvel/DC crossover event.
I think about this a lot. I think I think about this all the time, Hunter. I think about this all the time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I used
think
to as well.
so I think I think number 1, who's going where?
Okay, well,
You got
first
to
12 issues. We'll say this, 12 issues.
12 issues. I want Jorge on that bitch. Um and and
Okay.
and that's how it's gonna look, right?
I want
Jorge
Gary
Jimenez,
Frank on covers.
sure. I want Alex Ross on covers. No, I get
Oh,
Gary Frank
actually,
on covers
yeah.
would be
Yeah,
cool.
I would like
Um,
that too.
I think so first of all, I think you have to determine characters are going to get thrown into each other's universes. Who's going where, right? So from Marvel, I think you got to throw Superman into the Marvel universe because I think the Marvel universe is so mean and so fucked up compared to the world that Superman lives in that he would. I always think about this. I think it's such an interesting visual of Superman in the Marvel universe would just be a red blur seen all around the world. He would never stop because there's always bad shit happening. You know what I mean? People would just recognize that like this red blur has appeared all over the planet and it keeps saving people, you know? That would be Superman, I think, in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And then I think you can do the story of like, oh, well, Dr. Doom lures Superman into Latveria and then he beats up Superman and Superman's unconscious. And then the Fantastic Four have to go into Latveria and rescue this guy. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's Superman. That's cool. I think that that's the basis of your Marvel DC crossover. And then I think you have to go crazy. I think you have to have I think you have to do an incursion. I think
you do.
you
Of
have
course.
to have the planets be at threat. You know what I mean? They're going to crash into each other and explode, and both universes are going to die. And I think what you have to do is you have to earn that portals moment. That is the most important thing in this crossover.
In-game portal.
You have to have the moment where all of the superheroes from both universes team up. And I think that that's ultimately what you need to build for, because I think ultimately that's all that matters, dude, is that moment. You know, you build to that moment perfectly, and that is the best moment in the history of comic books.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And then close up.
You know how I think
fight.
it would go? I think it would go like this as well, because I also have thought about this. I think at the front lines is Superman and Captain America.
Yeah.
And I think Captain America is about to yell Avengers Assemble to the entire combined Marvel DC universe.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Superman goes, let me do the honors. And Superman yells Avengers Assemble, leading the entire Marvel and DC universes into battle. I think that's it.
Yeah, I get a picture of that Jorge doing that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah.
And you could do some bullshit panel where like Booster Gold's like, what the hell's an Avenger? Or you know what I mean? You could do that, but it'd be sick. It would be badass.
It would.
I think that's it.
Here's my thing for 12 issues. When I was being approached by men in a mall, there was a crossover before this called
oh God,
Worlds
Collide. Here we go. I remember this. Worlds Collide.
It's Sonic and Mega Man. And it blew my mind because I'm like, I don't care about Mega Man, but oh my God, it was a good event. It's 12 issues, and I think they had the perfect method. You start with issue 1 being one universe, some characters from one universe will go to the other one's universe, and they fight. They fight for 2 issues. And then they realize why are we because people want to see like who would win.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course. When you do the crossover, you got to have Batman fight Spider-Man. You know.
Yeah. So they will fight, and then they will realize they're both heroes and they're not like enemies. So they stop fighting.
They fight for a bit, then they're mates.
Yeah. No winner, because then you'll get people angry. Be like, oh, you won. Yeah. So no winner. Just they stop fighting. Then they realize that the villains of both their universes, they found a way to cross over, and they were the ones that threw these characters into portals, and they're working together in a pocket universe. So Battle World, we'll say.
Okay.
So the villains of DC and Marvel are on like a new battle world that they made, and they're trying to kill
them, or just like
just like a few. Yeah. It'll be like Lex Luthor, and you'll have Dr. Doom. I think that's a good
great. They would hate each other so much, you know.
They would eventually, but at first they love each other. They agree with everything together. And then later on, I'll say Lex realizes that Doom is psychotic, and then they kind of fight.
You know what I heard? I heard once someone say that if Dr. Doom was in the DC universe, his main villain would probably be Lex, and he would defeat Superman on purpose to show that he's better than Lex Luthor. And I think that's like I think I've heard that, and I was just like, that's brilliant. That's so funny. It's like he would absolutely just go out of his way to fuck up Superman just to prove to Lex Luthor that he's better than him.
Yeah, exactly.
Which so you have to have them cross over, absolutely. I also think that you got to kind of tap into the lore of everything. So I think maybe the protagonist of a Marvel DC crossover, strangely enough, is Barry Allen, because he invented the multiverse.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, that would be good.
You know what I mean? That would be kind of fun. you go into the whole like how you kind of have to establish how the universes cross over.
Hmm.
In the 90s, there was a DC event, Marvel DC All Access, and they established that the Marvel universe and the DC universes are two twin brother gods, and one of them is red and one of them is blue. And they just don't touch they just don't hang out.
Yeah, makes
And
sense.
that's how they both exist. That's how both multiverses exist. Just don't do that. Just say that the barrier between realities is gone, and that's how we cross over. In fact, Grant Morrison always used to allude that behind the source wall was the Marvel universe, and I think that's awesome. So just do that.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think the
Well,
biggest thing is the crossover of characters that you have to have.
yeah.
You have to have the Avengers meet the Justice League. You have to have the X-Men
Mhm.
meet I don't know who they would meet actually, but Batman or whoever.
Yeah,
You have to have
yes.
Batman meet everyone. You have to have the handshakes. You got to have the
Yeah, you gotta
fights.
have those panels of
Yeah.
the handshakes. I think from there, when they realized Luther and Doom and some other villains are on this Pocket universe, they realized they need to get there. Barry Allen could get there using the cosmic treadmill, but he can only take a certain amount of people. So they make a
Oh,
team of like
so
10.
you make a strike team of your most popular characters.
Yeah, and they call it like the Avengers League or something. And it's just
The
like five
Avengers
DC,
League.
5 Marvel, or
Yeah, you
something
get
dumb like that.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, Iron
And
Man, Spider-Man,
Flash
yeah,
ain't him, yeah.
Flash, Thor, yeah, oof.
And they all travel over, but when they travel over to Battle World, all the villains start to leak into these other universes. So then you get a lot of tie-in books where it's just like, here's like, I can't think of single characters. Here's like, oh, here
Green
you have like
Lantern and
Green Lantern
eh,
and like Hulk or something like that. I
yeah,
don't know.
they're both green.
You get like team up tie-in books for the rest of the
Yes.
year where
Yeah,
they are
that's
fighting
very
certain
true. You
characters.
have to have tie-in books. You have to
Mhm.
have, Miles and
They have
Nightwing
like,
or something.
yeah,
You
Aquaman and
know,
Namor kind of thing.
yeah, exactly.
They fight Black
Yes,
Manta and like, I don't know, some water villain in
Atuma.
Marvel.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And yeah, that's how Yes, absolutely. You have to have the crossovers is a very good point.
Mhm.
Also, it has to matter. I think once it happens, it has to be canon. It has to be like an event that
Yeah,
happened. These
they
have
should
to be the
mention
actual
it.
versions of the
Mhm.
characters. You don't have to go. Remember that time we hung out with Spider-Man? We got pizza in New York. No, you just have to go. That thing happened at that one time, and it was weird.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that's it. But
And
it just has to
it
have
should have
happened.
consequences because then
Yeah.
you have the rest of the main series being the strike team going through this battle world that's a mix of Marvel and DC. Maybe we have like a giant Green Lantern power battery in like a Sanctorium kind of thing. Like
Oh, that
it's
would
like
be
a
cool,
mix of
actually. Like a battle
things.
world, patch world of like the Old Man Logan universe and the Dark Knight Returns universe and the Kingdom Come universe and that would
Yeah,
be interesting. Yeah.
just combine certain like landmarks of areas together. Like maybe the Fortress of Solitude is in this battle world, but when you go inside, there's like a Black Panther stuff is in there, and I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
know.
like T'Challa's like cave like carved out a little cave or something. Yeah,
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 like
that's cool.
show these things mixing together, and
Yeah,
then for the final 3 issues or 2 issues, you do the portal thing where
yeah.
everyone's able to get to Battle World somehow. Maybe Reed Richards and Mr. Terrific, they work together to build a device to get everyone there.
You know what this sounds like?
Sonic and Mega Man, yeah.
This sounds it also sounds like DC versus Mortal Kombat. Remember,
Oh,
there's that
yeah, a
there's
little
that
bit.
world that they all fight on,
Yeah.
and then they all team up against a Dark Khan. Do you do that? Do you do Doctor Doom's Luthor? Do you combine
I
them?
think you can I think Luther and Dr. Doom they work together to be something to fuse like Darkseid and Thanos together.
Oh
Because
my
people would
god.
love to see that.
Thanos side, I think, is what that character is in
Yeah,
Amalgam.
yeah.
In
So
Amalgam, it's Doctor Doom and Doomsday, and he's Doctor Doomsday because it's a fun name. And to be fair, it is.
that is a great name. But
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a big fan of fused characters. Like we went through all that in
yeah.
Infinity Wars, and
Yeah, with the Infinity Warps.
yeah,
That was
warps.
stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. But
Yeah,
maybe they do it for like the big guys, like the
yeah.
monstrous characters.
I also always had a picture of how God. We are going into this. We have been. It's
Yeah,
like we've
this
been
one question.
fiending. We've been fiending to be asked about a Marvel DC crossover or something. But I do have a. I always thought of how it could end. I think it's something really simple, like
Okay, you
everyone's.
tell me your ending, then I'll tell you mine because I have a better idea than
Oh
yours.
man. Okay. Here we go. Is the end my ending to the Marvel DC? Yeah. You know what? In the comments, vote who's got the better ending. But the Marvel DC crossover is you just have one page or like a splash page or something where it's 16 panels cut in half, so 8 and 8, and it's Peter Parker, his daily life, and Clark Kent and his daily life, and there's some fucking bullshit speech about the power of heroes going on, and then these panels slowly shrink so that the next page it's 8 panels, 4 on each side, next page 2 panels, whatever, and the final splash page has to be Peter opening his shirt and it's a Spider-Man logo. The other half is Clark opening his shirt, it's a Superman logo. They're going off to work, and the end of the book. That's how I think the book ends.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. But
Here we go.
I'm again taking inspiration from Sonic Mega Man crossover because I thought their ending is I think it's the greatest ending ever. So
yes,
there's
a giant lizard in the moon.
They're in Battle World. They stop the bad guys.
Here we go.
It's saved, but they need to get back to their worlds and make this like everything merging together. They need to get that to stop. So in what I'm taking inspiration from, they have this thing called chaos control, where if they focus really hard on something using these magic items, essentially, they can make a perfect world again. They can go back to what it was. Everything's back to normal, right? So they get 2 characters, one from Marvel, one DC, to do this. I don't know who, but it'd be 2 characters.
And
maybe it's the Infinity Stores that they have to snap kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have to snap at the same time or something like that. The first one that does it, I'll say the first one's Marvel. They have whoever's doing, say, Reed Richards. He focuses really hard. He snaps his fingers, and then he fades away, and all the Marvel characters fade away, and they're all waving goodbye, and they get back to normal. Then DC's turn. DC goes to do it, but Luthor's so pissed off that he lost, he can't stand it. He has one more trick up his sleeve. He fires something at, like, say Batman's the one snapping, hits Batman right as he snaps his fingers, so he messes up a little bit. Everyone starts to glitch out and fade away. And now you have Marvel Comics that continue the way they were. DC Comics has a new kind of timeline reboot fix. Things are different.
Oh my god, you're gonna crisis the DC universe?
Yes, I am. But it's to fix certain things. Maybe things are different. Maybe characters that are dead are now alive.
Insane. That's insane.
That's what happened in Sonic
Who
Mega
did they
Man.
reboot?
It's because Ken Penders did the lawsuit.
Oh, but they rebooted. That's where they rebooted Sonic?
That's how they did it. They had Mega Man. He did chaos. He did chaos control. Everything went back to normal. Then Sonic went to do it. Eggman was so pissed off that he shot Sonic in the back right when he snapped his fingers, and everyone started to like scream as they vanished. And then it cuts to Sonic's universe, and all the characters that Ken Penders wrote no longer exist.
That's insane. That's incredible.
It's a good writing. Like, it's a good moment.
I say just have Barry and Reed come up with some multiverse doohickey and fix it.
I think it'd be good if there's a consequence to the end.
Yeah, maybe someone dies.
Yeah.
Kill.
I think it'd be
Supergirl
interesting.
Again.
Because then when Sonic's back in his world, there's like a war happening. He's like, what the hell is going on? He's the only one that remembers because he did the spell.
So maybe the characters go back, but the world is different.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But like in the old comics, the king in Sonic comics had he was paralyzed and had dementia because it's the Sonic comics. So you gotta have terrible things like that.
Yeah,
but in the new universe,
he was sad reality.
In the new universe, he was healthy and he was like young again. So it's like, oh, maybe everything in this new world isn't that bad.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, maybe they could do something like that. Maybe Luthor's like a good guy and he doesn't remember that he's bad.
Huh.
So
all right, I'll give it to you. But Marvel just gets to stay the same
because Marvel's timeline's all right.
Yeah.
But DC's isn't very good right now. So that's your way just to go.
It's also called Secret Crisis, of course.
Yes, it needs to be. All right, I guess we're doing more. Le Duque says, opinions on the idea of a cinematic universe. I liked the idea of it.
But yeah, the idea. Oh well,
everyone's doing them now.
Kevin Feige always said that the dream behind the MCU was creating like a universe of characters that was fun to see crossover, like the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love seeing it. I think, but the issue is it's only worked once or twice, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe worked because of like 1,000,001 miracles. And the Godzilla Kong universe works because it's just so silly.
I don't know if it works.
I think but it works second best to the MCU, at least in terms of cinematic universes in film right now.
But now it looks like G.I. Joe and Transformers are going to have one.
Yeah, there's a Conjuring cinematic universe.
Yeah,
There's another DC universe. There's a Fast and Furious averse because they did the Hobbs and
Hobbs
Shaw
and Shaw.
spinoff.
Yeah, that's
There's a
true.
Breaking Bad averse
I
because
guess
there's
there is.
Better
The
Call Saul and
Boys has
there's El
Gen
Camino.
V. Yeah.
Yes. And so it's like it is definitely oversaturated. And Jesus Christ, not everything needs to cross over, but it
Yeah.
is fun. I like the
Yeah.
idea of crossovers. I always have.
I think
And
we're doing
so
things like comic books. You should do it for
yeah,
your
but a
movies and stuff.
cinematic universe of like Madam Web and Morbius is ridiculous. And it's
Yeah.
like it's poison. You know what I mean? It's poison to this
Mhm.
entire idea.
Yeah.
It's also broken Hollywood. I know a lot of people talk about this, how like it used to be that people went to go see movies because of the movie stars, but now it's people go to see movies because Kevin Feige made the franchise the star.
Yeah.
And it's definitely harmed how people go to the movies and how people view movies.
Yeah.
But I
It
don't
does.
think that's his fault.
No, he had an idea and it
He just
worked.
did a good job. And
Yeah.
everyone tried to copy him and they fucked it up.
Mhm.
And then he fucked it up as well. But
I think
you
if
know,
you try too hard and you're not Marvel and DC, it becomes just like exhausting. Do you see the latest episode of The Boys?
not yet. But I know that the Gen V characters are in it.
Yeah, but the episode starts with them announcing the seven cinematic universe.
Oh, I did see that picture.
And
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
like, here's the next 4 years, and it's like 50 movies.
It's like it's also like the Despicable Me 4, where Steve
Yeah, they
Carell
made fun of it.
announces
Yeah.
next 100 years of
Yeah.
Minions movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it gets
yeah.
ridiculous. And they're just
I
like,
mean,
here's
it's infected.
spin-offs and miniseries and TV
Yeah,
shows and movies and
I mean, it's
crossovers.
infected like television as well. I mean, like The Walking Dead used to be one thing, and now
Oh
it's a
yeah,
cinematic
Fear the
universe of
Walking
television
Dead
shows.
and yeah.
Um, Game of Thrones had Game of Thrones, and now it's also the
House of
motherfucker House
Dragon.
of the Dragon. There we go, and then they're making
Yeah.
another show. I mean,
Yeah.
look what has happened to Star Wars.
Oh
It
yeah.
was the
Mess.
biggest franchise ever, and now, and I'm not saying this because I'm taking any side in some dumbass culture war. It's just and now I don't even watch The Acolyte. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just I watched the first few episodes. I went, and there's Star Wars I'm not watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's
that's
it's a dangerous game they play, and it worked really once.
yeah,
You
and
know?
I hope it'll work again with DC. And I like the Conjuring universe too. It's some of the decisions that blow my mind. It was like, why the hell would you do that? But
Or the
same
Saw
writer.
universe,
The
or
Saw. Well, the Saw. At least there's no spin-offs. It's all like 1
what
to
about that
10.
Spiral, the book of? Isn't that a spinoff?
That's considered Saw 9 though, or
All right.
Saw 8 or 9. But yeah, they aren't spin-offs for Saw. So I'm like, that's okay if you just have a bunch of sequels, because I'm not gonna call those. But I guess like Shrek's a spin-off series now and
Yeah, but Puss in Boots is like the
good.
best movie ever. So
Yeah, yeah, they are good. I'm not saying all these are bad. It's just like it's
yeah,
kind of ridiculous that there are so many of them. And like
yeah,
most movies that come out this year are all sequels. Like we see movies every day,
yeah,
unfortunately.
pretty much.
And I'll look at my list right now. We got Dune, that's a sequel. Inside Out 2, that's a sequel. Furiosa,
Yeah,
that's a prequel.
yeah.
First Omen, that's a prequel.
The
Quiet Place,
Furiosa,
prequel.
Quiet Place, First Omen, all fall into the cinematic universe trend,
Hmm.
right? Where this thing isn't about one thing anymore. This thing isn't about Mad Max anymore. It's actually about the universe of Mad Max characters. You know,
Yeah.
A Quiet Place isn't about John Krasinski and his family anymore. It's about the universe of the Quiet Place world.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's like the first Omen. I didn't even know was part of a franchise until after I saw the movie and Googled it because I was so confused on the ending. And it's like this is the first Omen is not about the actual Omen movie. It's about the Omen universe. Again, you know what I mean? It's like this
Hmm.
whole everything has been infected with this universe building mindset, and there are good movies. I love Furiosa. I thought First Omen was incredible, and
I agree. Yeah.
whatever the other one you
Quiet
said.
Place was great. Dune 2.
Quiet Place was great. Yeah, and so it's
Inside
like
Out 2. Yeah.
it's not inherently a problem, but it is when a lot of it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'm looking at my list now.
filler.
Most of what I've seen this year, I've seen 22 movies, are sequels or prequels. Ghostbusters, Kung Fu Panda 2,
Ghostbusters is another fucking
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon is another one.
And even then, like Roadhouse, that's a reboot. So
Roadhouse.
yeah, I watched Roadhouse.
You watch? Oh, Kingdom is another.
Yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Universe.
Yep.
Yeah. Godzilla Kong cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Madam Web.
So yeah, it's
annoying.
It's annoying.
But
I guess
I like good movies and stuff. So maybe if it's a good movie, I don't care.
We're still part of the problem because we're seeing them all the time. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Jacob BW said, "Who would you want Howard the Duck to kill if you forced him to?"
God, am I allowed to say that on the pod? What do I care?
No, I
I
know you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, him. Him.
I'll vote for the other guy. Okay.
Yeah, you're probably that guy.
Okay. I'll say the Canadian version of that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa! I dropped my phone. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
John798 says, "What games are you guys playing right now?" No.
Interesting.
We're epic gamers.
Kinda, yeah. I've definitely been gaming less than I have in the past. I have been. I don't even think I've been really playing anything. I was replaying Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War because I'm genuinely excited for the new Call of Duty. Like I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a Treyarch game. And I think they make the best ones. It's got the longest development cycle of any Call of Duty literally ever.
Oh, that's a good sign.
It's a new, they've invented new movement systems. I trust Treyarch. I love the way they do the campaigns. I love the stories. And I love zombies. So it's like I was just replaying Cold War because I was like, are you a Call of Duty guy?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Cold War is a really good one. Genuinely, like the campaign is like a cool James Bond spy movie. It's awesome.
Okay. I played World at War, MW2, and Black Ops. I was like super into those when they came out. I was in junior high school. And Black
I was
Ops
in elementary
1,
school.
yeah, because you're a child.
Because
Black Ops 1.
I'm 15 right now. That's why I went to the mall yesterday. Some guy approached me.
I think I might have like close to 1,000 hours in Black Ops 1.
Yeah, just daily.
It was
with
my game. And
zombies. Yeah.
To this day, like about a month ago, I played zombies with my brother. We on Black Ops 1, like Kino. Like it's
Kino der Toten.
Yeah, it's
nostalgia,
perfect.
dude.
So, but yeah,
that
after Black Ops 1, I played a little bit of MW3 when it came out, like the old one, and that was it.
I've played a lot of them. I've played I would never say I love Call of Duty, but like I think about it, I'm like, fuck, I've played so many of them. Like I can't be like, no, I don't even like Call. Like I don't like Call. I've played so many of them that I can't say that. I can't even, So
yeah, I mean, it happens. I'm a huge fan of fighting games. I love fighting games. So they're my favorite game genre ever. So Street Fighter 6, I've been playing for over a year since it came out. It's just celebrated its 1 year anniversary like 2 weeks ago. It is one of my favorite games ever made, even though it's only a year old. I know I thought it was recency bias, but I still play it constantly.
What is like the gameplay loop that you're playing in it though?
Ranked matches. Just
you're just playing online, just fighting people.
Yeah, I'm just getting my rank up and practicing because I go to like actual tournaments and stuff, and I compete. So I just do rank matches, and then I spend hours in training mode just labbing. And Bison came out like 2 days ago, and I only played him a little bit, but he's pretty cool. He's not really my type, but
I played
he's
Peacemaker and Homelander in Mortal Kombat.
I'm a Mortal Kombat hater, so I don't care.
Hey, come on. Listen, Mortal Kombat 1 was not it necessarily, but
Yeah,
Mortal
it wasn't
been good, dude.
I think the story Mortal Kombat 1 was great. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But
content, there's nothing.
Content, yeah. And even I found it was a little floaty. Like characters jump slow in that game.
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
So I prefer Street Fighter big time. I got into Dragon Ball Fighter Z recently, and I've been playing that a lot. I'm super late. I'm like 7 years late. I've been playing
Yeah,
ranked. I have a
I
friend
think
who
I played
plays
that
it
game.
competitively, so I've been playing with him online, and it's been fun. It's fast paced. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Dragon Ball game coming out. But yeah, Street
Me
Fighter
too.
is my jam. And Tyler and I both love like RPGs like Baldur's Gate and stuff. So
Yes, love Baldur's Gate. I'm definitely gonna buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when that is released again. I've been
yeah, I
waiting
am
for it.
too. I am
I'm
too.
definitely gonna. I've been itching like recently. Like, why can't I play this game anywhere? And they're gonna
Yeah.
release it. Yeah,
Now they're
it's exciting.
re-releasing it. So I love like I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as a kid, but now I got into competitive fighting games in high school and I haven't played it since. So
One of my early memories is being a little kid in the city. I don't remember why I was here
you keep
and
talking,
being
I
at
got a phone call from an unknown number, so maybe a
oh, here
scammer.
we go.
So keep talking.
Being in a laundromat and seeing an arcade machine for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. He's actually answering the phone right now. This is hilarious. Being in the laundromat, seeing the arcade game for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and just thinking like, holy shit, everyone here looks so interesting. Venom looks sick. He's like this cool color. It was the first time I ever saw Cable. I feel like that was first time I ever saw a lot of X-Men related characters. And I think the aesthetic of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 characters is like a peak Marvel Comics aesthetic for a lot of these characters. He is really talking on the phone right now. I am really stretching for this, but it is cool. I think if you just look up like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 designs for characters, your Spider-Mans, your Cables, your Psylocke, Captain America, Thanos, they all look sick. They all look like a peak 90s version of them. And obviously the Capcom characters look cool too. I think that's kind of all I have to say. I wish they would make a new one. I would play the fuck out of a new one. But I like 30-year-old games. There's nothing wrong with 30-year-old games, so I'll play those. I really stretched that, but I got it across.
Okay, sorry. I had a work call, but it's yeah, okay, I'm back. Um, have you guys ever thought about having fans on the podcast? Oh yeah, we're done video game stuff, so I just moved on.
Okay.
Fighting games, good.
Have
RPGs,
we
good.
ever thought about having fans on the pod? Oh God, fans is such a. I never think of
Yeah.
people as like fans of us. They're
We
just like,
get quite a bit of
yeah,
listen, not enough to get paid, not enough to for a living, but like 2,000 listens per week if you combine like everything that we release on.
yeah. I feel like we've talked about having people send in messages or like I remember Harper at one point wanted people to send in like voice messages or something or like maybe even get people on Zoom. But I think we were talking about like the logistics of it doesn't really like you have to remember that through two of the four of us like only two of us live in the same country and then
Mhm.
you live in Canada and Harper lives in Australia, and our time zones are all fucked, and that's why we have so much trouble even recording in the first place.
Yeah,
So it's difficult. It's difficult to even plan us recording, let alone getting like
that's why it's just
people
two
out
of us right
else.
now.
You know what I mean? Other
Mhm.
people on the podcast.
Because even then, like Tyler and JD, they're both on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast,
Yeah,
and then Harper's, in Australia. So yeah, it is difficult, which is why sometimes we don't release in a week because we're all completely busy. We're all college
yeah,
graduates too, so it is tough. So like Tyler said, maybe it's like voice messages, but I wouldn't say for a full episode because that's just adding another person on. There's a time where it was five of us doing this show every week, and I don't know how
yeah,
we were able to do that for the time that it happened.
yeah.
So
That was crazy.
yeah, and even then, like for their own reasons, JD is busier than he's ever been.
Yeah,
Harper's busier than he's ever been. Well, not really. I think Harper's just
Harper
lazy.
Harper likes to do other things. He's not
Yeah.
necessarily busy.
Yeah, he's not he just
JD's busy.
yeah, JD actually has like a good reason that I won't get into. But Harper's just like, I'm busy. We're like, what are you doing? He says, I'm watching it chapter 2. It's like
Yeah, like I gotta watch it chapter. Okay, really?
you're not busy. You're choosing to watch a
Yeah,
movie on your couch.
yeah. Um, but I also think like we like obviously we love the listeners, we love our fans, I guess is what they are. But I think that the core of this podcast is the fact that we all are friends
Hmm.
and know each other very well.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what people listen for. And so not necessarily that like, oh, we'll never have fans on because you guys don't actually know us, but more like I
We
feel
don't know
like,
you.
yeah, I feel like we don't. I feel like it wouldn't be necessarily the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And we've had
Even though,
cool people
yeah,
send us
like I love hearing what you guys have to say, but I feel like it wouldn't. It would. I don't know.
yeah. We've
I don't
had
know.
really fun videos of people like sending auditions to like
Yeah,
join us.
to join to be like the fifth member. Yeah,
Yeah. There's one guy, he sent us a video like a year ago, but I can't remember who he was, but I remember his face well. And I remember he went
yeah,
like, I'm always on Zoa. I can't remember who you are, but DM me.
yeah.
You
Maybe audition again, and maybe we'll let you in
because
this time.
you were awesome. I can't remember what your name
Yeah,
was though, but I really liked you. I think we would be good friends, but I like you and no one else. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we'd have like fans come on. Unless they're like voice messages and whatnot. So
yeah.
maybe one day. Uh First Flash fan says for every continent on Earth, which superhero represents each continent?
Like
North
literally,
America, South America, yeah, I
like
guess.
but like or like nationality wise, like okay.
Yeah, because
Um,
most superheroes, I'd say like 95% of superheroes
North
are
American.
American. Yeah.
Yeah, at least North American. Yeah.
But then there's like a
Um,
handful in Canada
okay, who
too.
represents North America is probably like Superman.
Yeah, or Captain America. I'd say
Yeah.
Superman. Actually, Superman, because we have
South
Mexico and Canada
America,
in there.
I'm gonna go with Sunspot. I love Sunspot.
Oh
South
yeah,
America.
that's a good.
Brazil.
Yeah, yeah.
Europe. Who the fuck represents Europe? Probably a British character, right? I'm gonna go Emma Frost. Even though, did you know I didn't know this? Emma Frost is actually from Boston and fakes her English accent.
Ugh, no, I don't believe.
So I guess never mind. But
Captain
probably someone
Britain.
British. Yeah. Jenny
There's not a
Sparks,
lot.
John Constantine.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good one.
he feels like the most European. Like I feel like he would be like a rowdy sports fan, you know.
Yeah, yeah, he would be.
Asia,
Asia has quite a few.
yeah, Asia does have quite a few. I want to almost go Kamala Khan, South Asia.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Um,
good one. I was thinking Katana, but no, they're probably not.
I mean, nowadays we could put Shang Chi up there.
Yes, but Shang-Chi doesn't really have any like comics that are like you
Yeah,
have to read the Shang-Chi book.
you gotta read Shang Chi,
Yeah,
dude. Like not yet, not yet.
but eventually I could see him being there for
Yeah.
sure.
Uh, and then Africa
Black
is a
Panther.
tough one. I want to say
It's Black
Storm.
Panther. No, it's Black Panther.
I like Storm, dude. I mean, I know I
Storm's
like Black
great
Panther
too.
too, but I like Storm.
Yeah.
I
Did
mean,
we
they're
get
both
him?
African, so
I guess Australia, Captain Boomerang.
it's Captain Boomerang and
Yeah.
Antarctica Godzilla.
Superman could be Antarctica, maybe.
I guess he could, but he could also be South America because remember Bendis put it in the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah, for like a year.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
so strange.
Superman's like the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Young Sheldon enthusiast
Let's go.
says, I know you guys used to read Dragon Ball, so what's your favorite Dragon Ball saga? Um, you used to read Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well, I know the sagas. I know
You're
the
a hater
story.
now.
I'm definitely not a hater. I'm definitely a hater. Actually, I lied. But I know the sagas. I think my favorite in Dragon Ball was always the Cell saga.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. For me, it's Boo. I think it's the longest. It's definitely the longest one, but
It's also is it the most climactic one? It's like where the whole
y
story leads to.
yeah, it is. And it has like Boo doesn't actually show up for like I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai. He doesn't show up for like 30 episodes, it feels like. That's when you see Boo
Jesus
because it
Christ.
starts with the tournament arc, but that's still considered the Boo saga. And the tournament arc's fantastic. Like it's very, very good because it's just seeing like, oh, this who would win between this guy and this guy. And then when the fight's over, it's like next fight kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's great. I would say Boo saga though. I think I have a soft spot for Frieza. I like Frieza saga a lot.
Oh, I also have a spot for the Android stuff. I don't know why.
Future
I like
Trunks.
yeah, Trunks and Android 17, 18, whole Capsule Corp stuff.
Hmm.
And then also, I mean that's also part of Cell as well. So
It is, yeah.
I like all of that.
They're all good, really. I'm reading the original manga right now. I'm on the Red Ribbon Saga, which I heard is the weakest, and I could tell it's the weakest. But the first saga, which was 50 issues, 50 chapters, something around there, was the Son Goku saga, and that was fantastic. Because you get to learn about Goku and Bulma and Krillin
You're
and
reading
Master
Dragon
Roshi.
Ball?
Yeah, original.
Damn.
It's good. You should read
I've
it.
heard. I've heard that I have to read it.
It's a little creepy at first because it's 80s Japan.
Yeah, it's like leery and like
Yeah,
perverted.
it's like she is 16.
Well, Master Roshi, dude, like,
hmm
right? Like,
It's
is
like,
that who
and
we're
you
talking about?
know her age. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, so there's some questionable things that happen, but if you just ignore that, it's great.
If you ignore all the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, it's actually fucking sick.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's it is. So it works. Move on. We're getting near the end. I'm kind of skipping some ones that are just like repeats. Like that one's a repeat. Fred Talks Comics. Who should take over the Nightwing run once Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo leave?
Oh dear lord.
I don't know.
Who do they have
Yeah,
at
they don't.
DC at all? Let me just
Williamson. I'll say Williamson. He hasn't done Nightwing.
No, I think Williamson is kind of. I don't. I think he's gonna be off a lot of stuff. You know what I say? I say Philip Kennedy Johnson. Throw it to him.
Sure. I don't
He
think I'll
usually
read it.
does super powered stuff. He usually does, like horror. The Hulk is
Mhm.
horror book, but he did Aliens as well. But
Yeah.
I say give him street level. I think he could do Nightwing because he did Superman so well, and Nightwing has kind of the same attitude, I
Yeah.
guess. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. DO3I says, what is the best superhero game of all time? I think it's Spider-Man PS4, like by Insomniac, not Spider-Man 2. I think it's the original one.
PS4 by Sony. I think
And I know, but I played the Arkham trilogy. I just think that one's just a little bit better.
this is a tough one. I think the Arkham trilogy. The
Wait, you
issue
can only
for
pick one.
me, that's the issue, and I think I'm gonna say the one that I think affected me the most, the one that was the biggest part of like my life, my childhood, and the one that like
City.
I think really cemented it all for me. I think it was Asylum. I think
Oh,
I think I loved so much about Arkham Asylum because it's just kind of like a random Batman run. It is like just issues 1 through 12 or 6 through 12 or 6 through 18 or
mhm.
18 through 20, whatever, random arc of Batman where he gets stuck at the asylum and hears all the villains. And that was really my introduction to like the larger Batman comics universe. And I don't think I would have like dug into any of this stuff if that game didn't exist. So, and I think it's awesome. I think it's like scary. It's, there's like this claustrophobic feeling. You're stuck in here and literally everyone wants to kill you,
Yeah.
but you're the most skilled guy in the world. I think everything about it works. I love Arkham Asylum.
I like Spider-Man because it was fun.
Spider-Man is fun too, yeah. And Aunt May dies.
That's my reasoning. Yeah. Trey Talks Comics. Can we get JD to review the latest issue of the current Flash? No, he's gone for
He
good.
quit. He
Mhm.
quit.
Weren't you listening? Jesus. Okay. Oh no, Nerd News 2017. When is that second part of last week's podcast coming in?
You ask them. Those motherfuckers. They did not record an episode. I said, guys, record an episode. I'm going to be real upset if you don't record an episode.
And they said
Harper
yes,
said, I have to
too.
watch It Chapter 2 again. And they didn't record
Yeah.
the episode. And JD quit. So, and they couldn't, they just didn't. They
Mhm.
just couldn't, is the truth.
Harper could have.
Yeah, I guess he could have done one alone. But the time, I guess, didn't match up. But I'm still mad at them.
We hate him for it. Yeah, I'm sorry that
Yeah.
that we said it was going to happen. I don't know why we had hope for those guys, but yeah,
It's become a full-on civil war in this podcast.
Yeah, it has. So, yeah. Billy Rathbone, do you guys think you will talk more about your anime manga journey? By the way, I recommend One Piece. Everyone recommends One Piece, man.
You,
Everyone
you
does.
have specific thoughts on One Piece, though, don't you?
I mean, not really. I'm gonna read it. I plan on
I
reading
thought
it.
I thought you have started reading it already.
No, no, not yet.
Uh,
I'm gonna finish
he
Dragon
has
Ball,
he
and
has a
then
plan to read it before it ends next year.
yeah, I thought I read something that is ending soon, so I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can catch up before it ends. And
1,000 parts? How many parts?
1,100 something, I think, but
Jesus Christ,
I
man.
think I can.
I mean, I think you can, but like, is that worth it?
Apparently, it is.
All right.
People are
Okay.
people are this guy recommends it.
I don't
This
really have a
that's-
manga journey, I feel though. Like I feel like I want to read more manga, but every time I think about something I want to read, I would always rather read a comic book over it. I'm always looking towards another comic to read. Like I just ordered Fantastic Four: The End, and I want to read that, and I want to read. I'm actually reading some Wonder Woman right now because we had a big discussion about Wonder Woman the other day. And so I like manga. The mangas I've read are good. Is mangas the term? Or is it just
yeah,
manga plural? Manga is the plural.
manga. Oh, I don't know. I say mangas. Oh man,
The
that sounds
the
wrong though.
it sounds weird when you say mangas, right? Doesn't it sound weird?
Hmm.
I've read all these mangas, um, but I've read a couple and I like them all, and I definitely will read more when by the time I die. And I feel like I say that about everything, but by the time I die, I feel like I'll have read everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to read Berserk by the time I die.
You should read
I
One
want to
Piece.
read by the time I die. By the time I
There you
die.
go. Okay. I'll let you know if it's good or not. Trey Pash says, "How does Hunter feel about Edmonton losing the Stanley Cup?" I don't really care.
Damn, look at you. I don't really care.
My dad was super into it. I lived in Australia for a while. Harper used to beat me up. But as a kid in 2006, the Edmonton was up against for the Stanley Cup. I don't know if they won or not. I can't remember. But my dad used to watch it live at like 6 in the morning because that's what time it was at, and he would be like, "Yes," really loud and wake everyone up. But yeah, I watched the last game, but I'm not really a hockey guy, so okay.
Damn. Is that like a are you like a trader?
I guess. I don't know.
I
The
feel like
whole
a
city was
lot
like sad. And
I
like
feel like a lot of what we associate like if I ask my anybody that lives here like what do you think about when you think of a Canadian, they probably say hockey first.
yeah.
So you're definitely a traitor to your people.
No, it's definitely like the biggest thing in the city here. I live in Edmonton, Alberta, so that's where the Oilers are, and they're in the Stanley Cup for the first time in
I heard about the
20
Oilers.
years. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were
Okay. So they. Yeah.
yeah. So
I
they
mean,
made it to the final game.
we got the New York Yankees over here.
Yeah, it's like what if the New York Yankees made it to the very end and then they
Yeah.
lost?
They do all the time. I mean, the Mets do all the time. I mean, they actually, yeah. But
So that's what happened with us.
yeah, I
But
see. I
it
see.
had we haven't made it to the end in since 2006. So
Okay.
the whole city was like partying and everything. Everyone was getting ready, and then everyone was devastated to the point that last night I ordered a pizza and it was on the house because I use a promo code Oilers, and it's just like we're
Damn.
sorry that you guys lost. Here's a free pizza.
Damn.
Yeah, so the
Nice.
city's in mourning right now, and I'm not a hockey fan, but I get free pizza, so yeah, it's fine. Um, near the
My
end,
city's in mourning because all those quiet place ear aliens attacked. So
yes, I know about that. Aiden Casa says advice for someone getting into pull lists after only reading via trades for so long.
pull
Don't overdo
lists.
it. Don't overdo it.
He said he's a pull lists.
He wants advice for getting into pull lists. So for those who
Like
don't know, pull list is something that all comic shops offer. It's where you say, "Hey, I want to read Batman, Green Lantern, Daredevil,
it's a
Moon Knight,
monthly
and
subscription to
Spider-Man."
the books you want to read.
Yeah, exactly. And then every month that book will come into your shop and they will keep you that issue aside for you to pick up.
Yeah, and so it doesn't get sold out, so you have it every month and they give it for you. Um, when I was a kid, okay, so there is definitely a transition, right? There's but I think, and I also think, not to overwhelm you here, it is the major transition in reading comic books, right?
Mhm.
Going from I'm reading trades to I'm going to keep up with this as it comes out monthly.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, the first time I really kept up with monthly books was when Miles Morales became Spider-Man. But when I first started reading them monthly, like going to the store and reading them monthly, was the relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man when Superior ended. And that's 10 years now. So 10 years I've been reading monthly comic books. I think that's kind of what you have to look for, is a big jumping on point for the characters that you're looking for.
Yeah.
They're always doing number ones and they're always telling new stories. You kind of just have to start there. But also, I think what you should do, and this was the fun of comic books back in the day, is that every issue is a story on itself. Every issue is its own thing. So you can really pick up anywhere. You don't have to worry if they're in the middle of a major story or a major arc or a major whatever. If there's things you don't know, again, kind of going back to the last, the question previously, you can kind of just jump in on any issue because in theory, they're supposed to be their own self-contained things anyway, because you're paying $5 for it anyway. You know, like it's going to be its own story, so you can kind of just start wherever they're at now.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, just don't overdo it.
Don't think you have to pull and read everything.
I did that in high school where I read every single DC Rebirth book was on my pull list, including like, I don't care about Harley Quinn, but I was reading it. I don't care about Blue Beetle, but I was reading it.
Yeah.
So, like, don't overdo it. Just pick the characters that you like. If you like everyone, then okay, just be careful because it is also, a lot of money.
I think if you can afford to, have fun just going to the store and looking at the books and picking out a cool cover. Like, if you can afford to see a new number one that's random you've never seen before and go, oh, that looks cool, and buy it, try that out. Because I've been doing that recently and I think it's a lot of fun. Like this Zatanna book came out this week and I would never have bought this previously, but it's a cool cover and it's a number one and it's a black label, and I was like, fuck it, I'll read it. And it was good and I like it. I'll probably finish the story. Like, I think that that's something that you should do. I read this book, Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime.
I saw a Marvel post with that, yeah.
Because it looked cool and it's a Scrooge McDuck story. I think if you can afford to do that, just have fun with it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I guess we'll do one last question. Unsaddened 02 says, what is your favorite book and what is your favorite movie? That's 2 questions.
Oh, interesting. My favorite, like, comic book, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine that in comic book.
It's I said it, didn't I? It's The Walking Dead.
Yeah, you did say it. Yeah, that's right.
It's The Walking Dead. The one I have the biggest attachment to, the one I would always have said was my favorite comic book, is Ultimate Spider-Man. I love The Walking Dead. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. If we're not going by runs, I would say probably the New Frontier or maybe All-Star Superman. But I would say those books kind of encompass all of my favorites.
Yeah. I would say for me it's Invincible. I've said this since I read it, and I still agree that it's Invincible. I have not read Walking Dead, but Invincible.
I'm looking at it right now. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I have it right here.
Get on it.
So I'll read it eventually, but right now it is Invincible. I guess favorite, like, just one story. Infinite Frontier is very good. I really like it.
Infinite Frontier.
Yeah. New Frontier. No, for New Frontier. Sorry.
It's like the DC book from 2 years ago.
New Frontier. Also Spider-Man is also up there for sure. Yeah, the one where Wonder Woman's dead. I like that.
I was like, what are you talking about? The one where Roy Harper gets a Black Lantern ring?
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty good.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Favorite movie is a tough one. I genuinely, listen, it's been a year now. You can't call me recency biased on this one. I think the best movie of all time is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I was watching it when we entered the call for the podcast. Genuinely, I think that's like the greatest motion picture ever. It's got everything.
Yeah. That's my second favorite. My first favorite is always and will never be beaten, Lord of the Rings. Return of the King. But I kind of count them all as one. You can't watch one without watching the rest.
There's so many movies I love, man. I love La La Land. I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love No Country for Old Men. I love Infinity War. I love,
oh yeah, your top 4 on Letterboxd. You have Spider-Verse there. Yeah, for me, Lord of the Rings, Across the Spider-Verse. For my other two favorites are Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I love that movie. I saw it 3 times in theaters. It blew my mind. It wanted
Okay,
me to be
weirdo.
creative. I'm like, this is so unique. It's so creative. It's like watching a video game and a comic book and a movie all in one. And it's funny too.
Great
And
movie.
Hereditary, which
Hereditary's a good one.
it's
I'm
one
looking
of
at
my
my
favorite
favorites.
movies.
I love to Princess Mononoke is incredible,
It
but I
is.
do think if you're gonna ask me my favorite movie, and I'm gonna say my favorite movie based on literally every part of the movie, like the special effects, the act, the every, I think that 2001: A Space Odyssey is an unbelievable masterpiece. It's very old, it's very long, it's very boring. I love it so much. I saw it in theaters, on film. It was incredible.
I've never seen it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, you gotta,
Never see
bro,
it.
you gotta
I have
watch that.
so many people on Letterboxd have seen it,
Yeah,
but
2001 is incredible. I'm just looking through all the movies I've rated 5 stars. Like I have, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm frugal with my 5 star ratings, but they are meticulous. Like
I give
for a
them
five
out.
star rating, I have Titanic,
I have
5 star movie.
76 movies and 5 stars.
Titanic, you would say is a 5 star movie, right?
No,
Okay, never mind.
I
I
give
thought
it
that we were going to agree
4.
on this.
I give it 4.
Okay, well, I have. How about Fellowship of the Ring? Five
Yes,
stars.
5. Yeah.
Okay, my next 5 star movie after those two is Mean Girls, the original,
What?
and I think Mean Girls is legit a 5 star movie. I think
All
that's an
right.
awesome,
All right.
incredible
Yeah.
movie. I have 76 5 star movies, but yeah,
Oh,
I think
we're close then.
all of my favorites that I would give, I guess 5 stars on Letterboxd are they're varied, man. I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
I got the lighthouse here next to
Oh,
Howl's Moving Castle.
Lighthouse is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah,
Like by far. I love The
yeah,
Lighthouse. Lighthouse and Hereditary are like my two favorite horror movies. And they're very different, but they're also very similar.
and they're also made by fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I love those
Yeah,
guys though.
dude, Nosferatu. I didn't see. Okay, can we
I'm
talk about it real
so
quick because
yeah.
I hadn't watched the trailer when you sent it in the chat. I waited till I saw the bike riders on Wednesday, and I saw it in theaters for the first time. Fuck me, man.
It's gonna be the best movie of the year.
It's gonna be. Oh God, just
Nosferatu has been my most anticipated movie all year, besides Sonic 3. But I'm biased
give
towards that.
that guy all the money in the world to just make some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like I
Hmm.
love the Northman. It's so weird, but I think it's like legit. It's again, I think I have it as 5 stars. It's one of my favorite movies, I would say.
Northman? Let's see.
Yeah,
I have it as 5 stars. You have it just five
yeah.
stars. Yep.
It is just such a good movie.
It's great.
The Lighthouse is one of those. The Witch is a weird one,
I
but
like it.
again, just give him, just let him do some weird gothic shit forever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and don't question it.
Like
You know,
Nosferatu is gonna be it has a
crazy.
perfect cast. It's got perfect writer, perfect director.
Yeah,
It's gonna be amazing.
the
And Willem
tone looks
Dafoe
on
plays a
point.
vampire
Yeah,
hunter. Like
it looks so good. It looks
yeah.
so good.
That
We think of we think of that movie Long Legs.
I'm so excited. It's like 2 weeks
Yeah,
away. Oh my
yeah,
god.
that movie. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, look it up. It. I have this issue, and I don't know if you have a similar issue where anytime I try to watch horror movies with people around me, I got a couple issues over there too. But so this happens all the time. So for example, one time at school it was Halloween, and my friend had invited a bunch of his friends over. We were all going to watch a scary movie, and I was like, "Let's watch The Thing."
Hmm.
And that's a level of fucked up that I think the people in the room weren't necessarily expecting. They were expecting like Hocus Pocus, right?
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
and the same thing happened. I went to go see, I forgot what I showed her. Oh, I showed my girlfriend Hereditary,
Oh nice.
and it scared the shit out of her. And she's like, I just like, The Conjuring. I like that kind of like
Conjuring's scary.
but it's not that fucked up.
No, yeah, because
You
Hereditary
know what I
like
mean?
drains you.
But I'm like, no, I like the movies where like I feel fear in my heart. You know what I mean? Like where I look into the eye of darkness and it stares at me and I'm just like frightened in my seat until I'm sweating.
Mhm.
That is horror for me. That's this fucking movie. And I've told my girl, I'm like, you cannot see this with me. I have to see this alone, and I will vet it, and maybe we
I'll
can go
probably
see
see it
together.
alone too.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I will vet this movie for you, and maybe, just maybe, we could see it together.
As far as like what you described there, like the scariest thing you've ever seen, it's pretty rare for me, I find. I'm like,
Get
oh, I'm
scared.
not scared. It's just because
Yeah.
I've seen so many horror movies.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get scared in
I've
a lot
seen
of movies either.
hundreds of horror movies. So
But it's like it's always the one that when it gets you, like the first Omen really shocked me because I was like, this will be all right. And it was like legit scary, that movie.
yeah,
Good horror, good like body horror,
when
good
she's in the dark
scares,
room and she has the
good
vision.
tension.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a very well made horror movie
Mhm.
versus like The Watchers, you know,
Yeah, that sucked.
which sucked. And so I just feel like those weird, well made horror movies, it's like it's what I go to the movies for, man.
I would say Hereditary and yeah, the first Omen I'll put on there. I would even say Conjuring 1. And
Well, we could talk about like X and Pearl and how they're making Maxine and shit like
yeah.
that, and
Well,
all
these are
these weird
movies that
ones.
like I've never been more afraid before. I
Do
was
you think Alien
terrified.
Romulus is going to be one of these?
Yes, because it's Evil Dead
Oh,
2013 director, and
hope that,
2013
yeah.
Evil Dead is one of the scariest movies
Evil
I've
Dead
seen.
Rise is another one, yeah.
Yeah, but that's also at the time I saw Evil Dead when it came out. That's 2013. I was young, and I was very afraid. Just
Yeah, I
the
watched that
creepy in
movie
the which
recently.
is like
It is scary.
yeah, yeah. That was terrifying. So I think Long Legs is going to be among this, where it's like I am going to be terrified during this. And Hereditary, I say Hereditary isn't scary until the last 10 minutes. Then it's the
Yeah,
scariest
well,
thing in the world.
it's a built tension to like just the worst waking nightmare ever.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Barbarian, where Barbarian I find the first 40 minutes is pretty scary because you don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
tension,
And then
and
you
then
get the
blow off. Yeah,
reveal of what's going on and you kind of calm down a little bit.
yeah.
But leading up to that
Barbarian's another
reveal is
good one. Yeah.
terrifying. Hereditary is the opposite, where you lead up to the reveal and then when you get the reveal, you're terrified. The banging on the attic door got me so bad.
Which one again?
In Hereditary, when she's banging her
Oh
head
yes,
on the attic
with her.
door.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
That was like in my head for like a year. Like
Yeah.
after. So
Horrifying.
yeah, it messed me up, but in the most fun way that it's my fourth favorite movie ever made. But yeah, I think the new Alien's gonna be like that. I think Long Legs is
Long
gonna be like
legs.
that.
Yeah. Nosferatu.
Nosferatu maybe. I don't think Robert Eggers is a scary guy, but
I mean,
he's
the
interesting.
Lighthouse.
I think Lighthouse is scary.
You don't think the Lighthouse is scary? That scene, I think, where Rob is in the light and he's just screaming and it gets all
That's
fucked
scary.
up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
His
dude, that's
movies have like
fucked up.
minor. I think the opening of The Witch is scary too.
The baby.
The when you see the hag like just cooking
Oh yes, I
away.
have to rewatch that movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love horror movies.
Me too. Yeah. And see, Harper used to be the horror guy on here, but then Tyler and I noticed that Harper doesn't watch horror movies anymore.
Not modern ones, at least, not the ones that come out now.
Yeah, he watches the funky ones, which is good. You're fine with that, but Tyler and I are scarred
Yes.
for these things.
Yeah,
And again, a
we
lot
saw
of it because
First Omen in theaters. Immaculate's another good one. I only saw Immaculate.
there's a movie called Sleeping Hollows, which is Johnny Depp. It's about the Headless Horseman. That was the first horror movie I've seen in my life. I saw it when I was in grade 4, and that messed me up big time. I was like
First
sleeping
horror
with the lights
movie.
on.
First horror movie I think I ever saw was Cloverfield, if that counts.
Yeah,
Because
that counts.
it was scary as fuck to me.
Yeah,
Because it was like it was too real for like being places I recognize.
Yeah.
And there's a giant monster and stuff. And I was like 10.
Yeah.
It was that really fucked me up. I still kind of have like a bit of a fear of giant monsters where I'm like, we don't really know what's in the ocean, dude.
Same.
We kind of really don't
know. I mean that's understandable if you're a kid too, because it'll mess you up for sure. Like
yeah.
I saw Child's Play when I was a kid and that didn't scare me. But Sleepy Hollows did because it's about the Headless Horseman who's cutting people's heads off. There's a scene where this family is being hunted by them and the Headless Horseman arrives, so they hide the kid under the floorboards, and then his mom's head gets cut off, and you see the kid's perspective under the floorboards and the head rolls and stops, so his mom's head is like eyes are looking through the cracks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That reminds me of
that got me good.
The comic, but yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, that really messed me up. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that was a lot more. We didn't answer every question, but we're getting pretty late into this, so thanks for sending.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe we can continue next week if JD doesn't find a new job and decides to crawl his way back here. And if we can revive Harper.
I was gonna say if we can bring him back, which maybe. I mean, it's not impossible.
They've done it in movies and stuff. I know how we can bring him back. It's just a lot to sacrifice there. So yeah.
We'll talk about who.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Don't get in a car crash. Bye-bye.